Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How's it going, everybody? I'm just going to give you all some time to come on in. It's hot, y'all. I finished painting today, too. So, yay. It's only been like a 2-week paint party. Well, minus the party. It's just been 2 weeks of painting. Ceiling, walls, everything, myself. Oh, I know. This is a good one. It's not, I don't know if it's good. It's definitely triggering. I was like, "Oh my god." It's nuts. I was like, I would private the video myself if I were Tim. Just that's me. Mhm. Hey, Moonlight View. Hey, just me and Miss Honeychurch, of course. Donna, Winona, Twaddell. Or did I say that right? Popping the corn for this comedy of errors known as Timmy Ballard, right? Holy crap. Mhm. We'll smoke to that. I do too. I have so many thoughts myself. Oh my god. I'm gonna like try to play clips and not butt in. That's gonna be my biggest challenge is to just play the clips. I mean, I'm like every other freaking sentence. I'm like, it's horrible. I'm horrible. And then the more you listen to it, the more you catch. I don't know if he was drinking or coming off the MK Ultra train. It was hitting him hard though. That and the spiritual aspect of it, I'm like, that's those demons coming out. They're just like, oh, he looks disfigured in my opinion. Just from my observation. I'm not saying I'm no peach. I'm just saying. But I'm also not I'll just let me hush because it's hard to not go there. Hey KJ, if that hold on, I got away from the screen and I need to get back. And I got away again. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Are y'all staying cool? Like the other side of the pillow? Okay, let me do this now. I'm just gonna play this little I had made this a while back. And yeah, while everybody files in. Hey Miss Dora. Hey KJ. Oh my god, I miss you, lady. He did remind me of Lori too. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to share it with y'all. All right. This is my little schizo clip. One of them.
Turning and turning.
It's not another second.
Gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer.
It's very low.
Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in the sands of the desert, a shape with a lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs, while all about it reel shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born.
I'm called of God! I'm called of God!
All right, that's enough. I'm ready to get down into the weeds. I'm having a crazy hair day, so we're just gonna roll with it, okay? They're doing good, Miss Dora. Thanks for asking. Yeah, this is for real, right? Okay. All right. So let me go to what happened was. Well, what happened was, oh, crap. I keep thinking it was Sunday, but yesterday was Sunday, and so I'm like, what? I'm not good with dates or times or being on time ever. But I want to. It was the night that Hidden True Crime had Rob Wood on. So was that Saturday night or anyways? I think it was Saturday night. Well, I was flipping through to look for the next video, and before the Hidden True Crime video interview came on, and I noticed that The Last Dispensation is the YouTube channel that has been showcasing, I guess you could say, Tim Ballard's side of the story. They've had Janet Russin on. They've had been in contact with Ken Krogh has contacted them. I remember Troy Abel saying that The Last Dispensation. It's been quite a while, and it seems, and this is just my opinion, and I just hope I'm wrong. I really do. But it seems to me that, you know, it feels to me like The Last Dispensation is getting played and doesn't even know it. And I mean, that sucks, but then it's just, he angers me too, just with the ignorance that just spews out of their mouths. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And this is not an us versus them. This is not politics. This is not left versus right. This is right versus wrong. Straight up. I don't want your church. We're good, like this is stop. Stop and think about the words that are coming out of your mouth. I need to practice what I preach as well. But hey, whew, wow. It is a crazy, it's freaking crazy. Crazy train. Whoop whoop. All right. So what I did was the other night, let's see. Here, I'll show you this first. Let me fix my aspect so you can see what the hell I'm talking about, right? So, okay. So whenever this interview, when I saw it, it had only been out for an hour, and I was like, oh, okay. I think it was like 5 to 700 people that have already viewed it at that time. And I mean, I wanted to see Rob Wood's interview with Hidden True Crime too. So I was like, okay, screw it. I can't do two things at once. I can't comprehend the two things at one time, two videos. So what I did was I was in my bedroom and I had the Hidden True Crime interview on with Rob Wood, and I ran in here. Okay. And I was like, I'm going to record it, and I'll just watch it later. And I recorded it because habitual scrubbers, okay? They take the videos down a lot of the times, and not today. Not that day either. I was like, this is a doozy. This one's a doozy here. The little bit that I got to watch was like, whoa. It's like every other word was accusatory, gaslight, victim blame, project, guilt trip, just turning it, was spinning the narrative. I mean, I was just like, holy cow, this dude is gonna regret this, basically. Willful ignorance. Yeah, it is private now. And it went private while I was screen recording it. So at the very end of this video, I'm not going to call it an interview, of Tim Ballard and the Last Dispensation YouTube channel. I caught the entire interview was 110 minutes. Let's see, 110. I can't see it right there. 110:48, and it stopped at 103:22. So that's how much I don't have. It's just like 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes. So you're welcome. I know. And I know. Right. And so he brings up Ken Krogh, tries to, explain that connection away with the priesthood blessings, and you're going to be a prophet, and, the future president of the United States, and, all the weird shit. Okay. And we're not buying it because we're not stupid. Okay. First off, we deal with Chad and Lori. We are not dumb. We know it is now, it is a huge pattern. It's a huge behavioral thing. They do this. This is what they do. I think they like it, really. Hey, ERP. I didn't really enunciate that. So anyways, what I have is my handy dandy StreamYard. Okay. I titled it quick. I was like Grifty McGrifterson, August 3rd, 2024. I started recording it at, I guess, 9:54 p.m. When I came back to, check to see how far it had gone, I saw that it went boof. It was privated by right here. It says, look, Tim Ballard, the you heralded hero speaks, not unheralded. But anyways, that's minor. That's nothing. That's nothing burger right now. All right. So let me just give you a few samples of what we're going to hear. I did just post these too. I'm not used to working in this.
In the last month alone, how many ops have you done? I think 15 or something. I haven't even been able to report on all of them. So all I can do is say, God, I don't know why this is happening, but if this is a test, it's not going to stop me. We're gonna continue rescuing kids, and I'm doing it at a rate faster than I ever have in my life. We're getting support, and it's really thick.
Okay. And we're going to do this. We're going to go, it's a roller coaster ride from hell. Okay. Yeah, that's just one. Let's see.
How close
I have it spread up. I'm sorry.
I think it's closest. His own kids, maybe even closer.
That's true. Okay. So these women all knew that, and so a convenient lie, because they want to act like I spiritually manipulated them, is they got together and they said, hey, let's all say that Tim used Elder Ballard's name to get us to do this.
Again, not addressing the abuse allegations. It's just a lie. It's a big conspiracy. Anyways. I'm going to have to really practice.
What does that tell you, folks? What does that tell you?
Yeah. The judges ordered the women to pay me and to pay OUR because the lies were that bad. And that's going to continue to happen. My prediction is that these girls are going to turn on their attorney and say, you promised us $1 million. And instead they're losing everything. Because believe me, there's a lot of lawsuits that are about to, we're sitting back. Lawsuits are coming. And there's going to be a lot of them. And our lawsuits are actually going to be backed by facts, by video. These people who keep saying, I read the filings, I know he's guilty. What are you talking about? You read a novel that somebody wrote.
Right.
You can write anything in there.
Yep.
Okay. That one's going to burn a little bit, Let's see. Again, this it titles it by itself because I use the AI tool. but it says the surprising number of times Joseph Smith was arrested and found innocent. And I was like, okay, but let's note how many times he was arrested. Okay, first off, I'm just saying it's not persecution complex, it's a pattern.
If we go back to the times of Joseph Smith, how many times was he arrested and found innocent? 60-something times. The church didn't distance themselves from the prophet at that time when he was being arrested and found innocent.
Well, sometimes they did. If you know the history, sometimes.
Yeah,
some
well,
of them did. That's why
true.
I would never say the church. I would just say people inside the church.
Exactly.
Because there's no way there's leadership. I guarantee you, put my life on it. In fact, I know for a fact because I've talked to some who knows that was wrong.
Ooh. I'm just like, but he was arrested over 50 times. What? Why? You know, what's going on there? Everybody's just corrupt. You know, bullshit.
But Red Pill, that documentary, how come they didn't come ask for it? We would have given it to them. We've already dispersed some of the material out to some of the local Utah news, and I think they might have played a little bit of it, but not even all of it, because you know the more sensational story is, you know, the rise and fall of Tim Ballard is much more exciting than
it is.
Well, of course.
Killing children. These are real kids, and more to come on this, but I hesitate to. I'm going to probably save it, but they're trying. They've gone to some of the rescued kids and tried to get the kids who I rescued.
Oh my God, y'all! I mean, it's real. Anyways, let me play this one. It didn't.
What do you want us to do? Oh my gosh! They start working the case, and then I passed him off to one of the, you know, my guy in Colombia who's actually an undercover cop, and then he calls me, says, "Hey, I need you to come down. Very dangerous. We're going to go into the house of the boss of Fuego." So, and by the way, this whole thing's a documentary called Triple Take. Which we can't wait to put out, but
we can't wait
because the story is continuing. So all the new stuff's going to be in it. So I show up at that, and that's where I meet Kelly Suarez. I didn't pick her up the street. She showed up, and she said, "Hey, I got a 12-year-old for I think $1,000, a 12-year-old," and I said, "Great. That's what you got." Okay. This is all on video, right?
Oh yeah, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Show is. Anyways, that's their connection. That was not mine, surprisingly, right? But let's see. And then this one, let me just play the damn video. Okay. Okay. Are y'all ready? And yes, his appearance is horrible, right? I mean, it wasn't, I was just like, why does he look like that? Why does he look like that? It's all one long story that meanders and will go nowhere. It's a circular talk that we hear from Melanie Pulaski, Melanie Damn Gibb, all of them, every effing one of them. How you doing, Martian Planet Art? Yeah, yes. I mean, you can't make this crap up. And I mean, not only did Alex go to Colombia, but he went there to go and do the sex tourism. So, just saying. 60-something times there was payoff. Oh my gosh, my nose. How many times? Oh, yeah. And now he's getting paid. Yeah. And he's rescuing kids. What did he say? I forget what he said. We'll hear it again. Okay. All right. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to play it for a little bit. I'm going to widen the screen. So just give me a second.
I was in Ecuador because we're building a task force aerial recovery. And we're going to build a task force. And I went to speak, and two private investigators from Utah showed up at my event. They flew all the way to Ecuador to try to catch me in some lie.
Okay.
but we caught him. The police caught him and kicked him out. I
What's wrong
mean,
with that?
that's how far they're going here. They're putting everything out there. But like I said, they've lost every battle in court so far. I think there are a few more dismissals, and not only are they getting dismissed, but 2 of them have to pay. And my guess is
what does
He's
that
laughing.
tell you, folks? What does that tell you?
Yeah, the judge has ordered the women to pay me and to pay OUR because the lies were that bad, and that's going to continue to happen. My prediction is that these girls are going to turn on their attorney and say, "You promised us $1 million," and instead they're losing everything. Because believe me, there's a lot of lawsuits that are about to. We're sitting back. Lawsuits are coming, and there's going to be a lot of them. And our lawsuits are actually going to be backed by facts, by video. You know, these people who keep saying, "I read the filings. I know he's guilty." What are you talking about? You read a novel that somebody wrote.
Right.
You can write anything in there.
Yep.
There are so many things just in that opening statement, that opener or whatever, that I'm just like, oh my God. Okay. They did not arrest the Utah investigators that were sent by he's alleging were sent by the women who are suing him, their attorneys. Okay. They're gonna, anyways, to go catch him in a lie. They went all the way to Columbia and they got arrested because they were trying to catch him in lies. That's what I got. That's what he said. That's what I got. Just saying. So, I'm gonna no.
Court so far. I think there are a few more dismissals, and not only are they getting dismissed, but 2 of them have to pay. My guess is
what does that tell you, folks? What does that tell you?
I mean, I'm trying not to be too petty right here, but I mean, this dude laughs, he closes his damn eyes. I'm just saying.
Are they getting dismissed? But 2 of them have to pay. Guess is
what does that tell you, folks? What does that tell you?
All right. I'll stop.
The judge has ordered the women to pay me.
So why does he laugh? Why does the host laugh about this shit? Is that funny? I want to know. Because, I mean, I didn't see the punchline. You know I'm observant, but I'm not God. So there's that.
And to pay OUR because the lies were that bad. And that's going to continue to happen.
So they have to pay OUR, the women who sued, who are suing Tim Ballard and a lot of other people. And so because their lies were that bad, they're going to have to pay him, Tim, and OUR because their lies are that bad. Nothing to do with evidence or, anyways.
My prediction is that these girls are going to turn on their attorney and say, "You promised us $1 million." And
That's
instead
probably
they're
what he
losing everything. Because believe me, there's a lot of lawsuits that are about to. We're sitting back. Lawsuits are coming.
This is not sitting back. I'm just saying. You got an hour. We got an hour. I captured an hour and 3 minutes of not sitting back. Okay, you are on it. Okay, you're front and center. I wonder if he's in front of something else. Is he trying to spin it? Because he's a spin doctor, in my opinion.
And there's going to be a lot of them. And our lawsuits are actually going to be backed by facts, by video.
And there's I'm sorry, but this is that competitiveness that I notice in a lot of in the social in the social LDS community, very competitive, and it's no fault of their own. I mean, I admire it. I am just like, wow, y'all got some get up and go. That's all I'm saying. And high five, but he's like, anything you can do, I can do better. That's what I get. Ours is going to be backed up with facts, actual facts.
These people who keep saying, "I read the filings. I know he's guilty." What are you talking about? You read a novel that somebody wrote.
Right.
It's a very juicy and nasty ass novel. First off, it's egregious. It's very exploitative. It's really gross. And it really shows a lot of how Operation Underground Railroad and the Spear Fund and all of your friends and associates, organizations are fooling, in my opinion, so many people. It's unreal. So there's so many sides of victimization in just this one man right here, this one dude. Okay, it's the deception and the exploitation goes on. It's happening now. It never stops.
You can write anything in there.
Yep.
Anyway.
Actually, that's what I just heard a few minutes ago when I came on. Welcome to the program, brother. What's going on, man? Where are you coming from? What's going on?
I wish I had. Look at him.
Dude, I'll tell you, you're not recording this live, right?
No, I'm recording. I mean, I'm
Okay,
editing later.
So I'm only saying that because we're still in country. We just finished a huge operation. It's been about 2.5 years in the making. And we're just kind of.
What? Okay, he just drank a rock star. I just noticed that. Stop it. It's no different than freaking caffeine. It's no different than coffee, y'all. Come on. Stop being some damn hypocrites. Shit.
We just finished it, been hiding out, and now we're heading home. But first, I want to thank you on your, I don't know if it was one of your last podcasts, for explaining to people, like the Blaze,
Ooh, check this.
My good friend Glenn Beck, who clearly wants to be so fair. Okay, I don't know how much he has to do with.
Not mine.
in the headlines that Tim Ballard's DNA, according to the court document. I just want to make something clear that you made clear before. I could say that you were raping dogs in your backyard, and I could submit to the court, and I could call that a court document.
What's that got to do with Glenn Beck and the Blaze, your friend? And that sounded like a little bit of sarcasm there, Tim. Sounds like you're a little butthurt. Okay. Stop soaking too. Maybe you wouldn't get jizz on ladies on their garments. Okay. Anyways.
In the headlines that Tim Ballard's DNA, according to the court document.
Let me back it up. I'm sorry.
We just finished it, been hiding out.
Glenn Beck.
Now we're heading home. But first, I want to thank you on your, I don't know if it was one of your last podcasts, for explaining to people, like the Blaze, my good friend Glenn Beck, who clearly wants to be so fair. Okay, I don't know how much he has to do with. In the headlines that Tim Ballard's DNA, according to the court document. I just want to make something clear that you made clear before. I could say that you were raping dogs.
That you were. I don't even know what he says right there. I hope it's not. It's probably humping, but because he's a projector, and that's what's happening, and that's why he's in the problem. That's why he's in the predicament that he's in, humping. Anyway, so he's like, and it's the stupidest analogy. Again, I'm no genius and I'm not the wittiest person, ever, but it sounds like something I would come up with, not the scenario, but just something like you know what I mean? And so, no, just because somebody says something, it's because you did. It's because you did. And because of what you are projecting to people, what you are trying to paint this image to people, that you are this hero, that you are Sound of Freedom, Jim Caviezel, you are rescuing all the children, and you're saving all the children. Oh my God, that the whole damn freaking statement, that whole whatever the hell phrase or whatever, it drives me. Oh my God, children, the way they say it's like, y'all need to chill out just a little bit. Okay, y'all stressing me out. And some of those children, 2 of those children, were Tylee and JJ. I'm not saying directly. I'm just saying birds of a feather flock together. Trafficking. It's not the box office movie that is really the goal that I think you set out to do. It was never to rescue children. It was just to give the image. And I have proof of that. I do. Coming soon.
in your backyard, and I could submit to the court, and I could call that a court document. So the headline says, according to court documents, Tim's DNA is all over the skirt.
I mean, apparently you don't even have to do court documents. You just say, hey, I'm a hero and I rescue and save children. Okay. I work for the CIA and and donate. Cause it costs $12 million, to rescue a damn child. Not even from here, not even from the damn United States of America. No. We got to go ravish over there with the third world countries where there are children who are women and children and men. I mean, I'm sure there's exploitation has no boundaries, it seems. Okay. And these so-called humanitarian, whatever the hell. Okay. Scandal, scheme, in my opinion, you're not fooling anybody. You might as well, if I were you, I would go and just collect the dollars that you scammed, in my opinion, out of so many freaking unsuspecting people who just don't look. I don't know how they don't see this. I don't know how they're like, oh my God, he's just such a noble guy. And he's just trying to save all the children. And, it's like, it's the us versus them. It's Lori Vallow when she's like, when you're doing and trying to do God's work, that's whenever Satan is really after you. You know what I mean? And that is a Latter-day Saint teaching or whatever, understanding. I don't know. It's something, because that is bad. I mean, it is very noticeable. And pretty much everything that, anyways, I'm not going to be general and just lump everybody in, but I mean, it's a pretty big, I see it a lot. I already forgot where I was with that.
So it sounds so official. And then, no one bothers to explain to people, anyone can make up a court document. I could file anything against anyone and say anything I want. And all these trolls who follow and say, just go read the filing. You got to understand, these women all got together. I know this for a fact. And they just repeated each other's lies. So it sounds consistent. But anyway, just because something says court documents means absolutely nothing.
We lost him.
DNA, if you understand how we operate, but we can get into that later.
Right.
But I just want to thank you for
Absolutely.
pointing out so many things to people who just don't understand. But just this operation, man, was especially, it was probably the most dangerous one, and it has to do with the lawsuit.
Oh,
I can't get into like the specifics and give away tactics.
Yet here I go.
There was only one possible way to find this trafficker, and I used an actress. We used actresses on purpose.
Oh, whoa! Just his change of demeanor here, because he's just check out the change in demeanor.
And she was phenomenal in the operation. In fact, we have her given the debrief on location. Luckily, somebody filmed it.
Luckily,
she's all excited because we identified the children. Okay. 2.5 years later, she's pounding her fist, saying her name's Sasha. She's revealed her name, so I'll reveal it.
Hi, Tyler.
This has to stop. It was all fake. So I could hold her hand, because I want to hold her hand so much because she's so hot. I just can't. I just had to go through this whole thing so I could hold her hand.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
I'm bothered by the way this asshole right here is. I'm sorry. is I mean, like, it's freaking funny, and this is nothing but just passive aggressive. It's horrible. It's horrible. Oh Lord, you saw that face? He looks like a duck. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck, right? And like Tammy Daybell says, there's no duck in justice, right? She didn't say that, but you can't duck justice. That's in honor of Tammy.
So much. She's so hot. I just can't. I just had to go through this whole thing so I could hold her hand. So anyway, this is the sad part of the operation. It was the good news is 2 traffickers arrested, 14 kids pulled out. The youngest was 12.
Allegedly.
Just think about that. And the other was 12.
According to him.
Think how young that is.
Yeah.
But here's the sad part. This was a major player in the cartel. That's why this was very dangerous.
He's not going to tell you all the things, but he's going to sit here and tell you who it is. And it's dangerous. It's the most dangerous op we've ever done. And and it's the cartel. Oh my God, the big bad cartel, right? But he's going to sit here and give you the deets when he said he wasn't going to. But then listen to why he is going to turn this. Listen how he's going to turn this and why it was successful and or not.
Into Baja California, into Cancun, and the Mexicans were working this case for 2.5 years.
The right? Mexicans, okay, not Latino or Latin. What is it? Latin American. Look, listen to me. But I mean, just come on, man. White privilege.
And there's hooks into Baja California, into Cancun, and the Mexicans were working this case for 2.5 years, right? But she comes and files lawsuit and reveals all the details.
So Sasha came in. She filed the lawsuit and revealed all the details of the couple's ruse. Okay, and so then this happens. I'm having to break into it a lot because I don't want to get sued or cartelled, or I'm not suicidal. I may be a little depressed these days, but I definitely never want to claim my own life. Okay, I don't plan on taking a long drive off of a short cliff. Okay, so there's that. And I don't have any life insurance money, so back off. Don't be getting it through your Ballard. Whatever. Anyways.
She reveals all the details. And so I had experts come say, Tim, you got to drop this case. Like, this is way too dangerous. But we had to. We couldn't wait and rescue what probably would have been more like 50 kids if we had been able to finish the operation. But we couldn't because all the details were out. So we had to get in there before the trafficker happened upon, the filing, right? So those children who will never be found and will have a life of rape is 100% blood on the hands of Alan Mortensen, Rasmussen, and Sasha.
Wow. I mean, I was like, that's gonna burn. Burning that booty, boy. Holy shit. I mean, so because Sasha filed this lawsuit, her part in the lawsuit, the civil lawsuit against this one, and OUR and Janet Russin, and it was against Catherine Ballard. I don't know all the details of where it was dropped and where it was not. It was just in certain aspects of all these ladies, all of these former ops of Tim Ballard that Tim allegedly used this couple's ruse. This, I think we were married before in a past life shit that we've heard, going through the same circles of Chad, Lori, Julie, Tom Harrison, even, according to Sherston Stockwell. So, I mean, y'all stop that shit. Okay. Stop. We see you and we see right through you and you lie, in my opinion.
But we had to. We couldn't wait and rescue. I had
going back
into Baja California, into Cancun, and the Mexicans were working this case for 2.5 years, right? But she comes and files lawsuit and reveals all the details. Okay? She reveals all the details. And so I had experts come say, Tim, you got to drop this case. Like, this is way too dangerous. But we had to. We couldn't wait and rescue what probably would have been more like 50 kids.
But
if we had been able to finish the operation, but we couldn't because all the details were out. So we had to get in there before the trafficker happened upon, the filing, right? So those children who will never be found and will have a life of rape is 100% blood on the hands of Alan Mortensen, Rasmussen, and and Sasha. You know,
I mean, that's a big, that's slanderous. That's accusatory. You're being accusatory, Mel. I mean, that's throwing some fiery darts over there at two attorneys. Okay, two of the attorneys that are representing these female operatives that are alleging all this abuse. Okay, and that all this went down. But Tim will tell you, like he did already, but he'll tell us many more times about how the women just got together, they corroborated their stories, and they're just running with it because they just want to, I guess, be a thorn in his side. I really don't know. That's that opposition thing,
And it's total betrayal to the country of Mexico. It's betrayal to our operation. And it made it especially dangerous for us because
especially
it was all out there,
right?
But we did it anyway, and
you do,
and it was successful. But I just don't think people realize how much these lawsuits are hurting kids.
No, they're not.
It's giving away tactics. It's shut down the whole adoption process.
Good, because I'm very disturbed by that, and that is the next rabbit hole's ass I'm gonna crawl so far up in that adoption aspect of it, because there are too many already that I already noticed prior to Tim Ballard. Okay, prior to him really being on my radar. It was after Lori and Chad and the kids, all this began in 2019 with the murder of my Uncle Charles. But I mean, I was just keeping up with the news. You get these alerts and notifications from Arizona, from the Mormondor, basically, Utah, Hawaii. Well, not really. I mean, I haven't gotten a lot of news from Hawaii, but it happens everywhere. And it tends to be birds of a feather flock together, in my opinion. And so these adoptions, oh my God. It, as you can see, I can't even form a freaking sentence or a word to describe how disturbed it makes me feel. I'm so disturbed and curious, kinda. I don't even know if I don't think I want to know, but we need to know. We need to know, because this is bullshit right here. You should be ashamed of yourself.
6 kids will never be adopted because we had to use that lawsuit money, that would have adopted.
He just fixed himself right there, or, corrected himself right there, because he's got a whole Ballard law fund, or whatever the hell, legal fund, that people have donated. I want to say like 30, he'll tell us in a little bit, but about 30 grand almost to his legal team to defend these female operatives. And so he just corrected himself. I heard.
Adopted kids, the fight.
Let me rewind it.
Process 26 kids will never be adopted because we had to use that lawsuit money, that would have adopted kids to fight these legal battles. We're in the millions of dollars now.
No, you're not.
And so, again, if you guys want to help
plug,
defense fund, please do.
Plug.
Yeah, the family. He's talking about the Family Ballard Defense Fund. That doesn't go to Tim and Catherine. That goes directly to their attorneys. To help with legal fees.
I don't give a shit.
And you can find that. I'll stick that at the end of this.
But I got one operator. You can have the blur space.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he was here. He was here the whole time. I'm not going to say his name. I'll call him Pedro.
No, I'll even change his voice. I'll even change his voice.
Huh?
And I'll blur his face and change his voice.
All right. So how do you feel, Pedro, about the fact that this woman, for money, and she doesn't even allege anything more than that I held her hand and my hand on her leg? I probably did, because we're driving around in taxis that are owned by the cartel, like you're enrolled the whole time, right? So for holding her hand in Mexico, she deserves millions of dollars apparently. But all these kids will not be rescued. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, to be quite frank, if I just had to say one thing, if there's a special place in hell for women, They have, and they're doing this knowingly. They have impeded the rescue of dozens and dozens. I could even go as far to say hundreds over the past year of kids. I mean, operations are completely halted on many fronts. Operations I was part of, I worked a lot in Central and South America, and a lot of funding was diverted, as Tim was saying, to legal battles. A lot of attention was diverted where we had ongoing cases where the actual bad guys, the actual traffickers, found out that not necessarily whose faces they were, but that there was undercover operators working those cases. So they changed their tactics. They moved the children to other places, to other cartels, and those children will never be found. So, quite frankly, like I said, there's a special rotten place for these women, and it's very offensive to God's work. It's offensive to the operators that have gone out for the past, over a decade now, since Tim started his first foundation, and all the hard work and all the sacrifices that we've had to make, being away from families and being in danger, all so that these women can, make a few dollars at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to reiterate this: the statement.
I mean, let's unpack that for a second. Let's just take a little break for a second because, oh my God, the things. There's too many. There's too many. And this, yes, put a pin in that because I got some questions about what we're gonna see. Okay, when it goes over to, I always get their names wrong. Matt Cooper, Matt. I don't know. They're all kind of the same names to me. They run together, but I'm just like, oh, it's like a brothel on wheels. Just saying. Good eye. Good eye. I know. And what about the practice sessions in Utah? Yeah. I mean, really? Whatever, Tim. Whatever, bitches. And the bitches, whatever, right? Yeah. Yes. So I think the accusations are more than holding hands. He is even lying about the charge. Right. He does reveal something, more, I want to say more into that aspect. And if he hadn't done it already, I don't think he has, but with to do with that, with the Sasha lady, and right, right. This dude has made more money, I'll say it like he does, to save the children and to infiltrate. And he does his little, I have the video that he and Marisol Nichols took down. Okay. I caught it just by chance one night. When they were explaining the couple's ruse, I was like, oh, hell, they took it down, and I have it where they're trying to explain it away. And I'm just like, you got to wake up real early in the morning to outfox me because of these people. I'm just saying. It's like just a knee-jerk reaction for me now. I'm just like, oh, take screenshots and, screen record if you need to, because they will spew their lies, but they cannot handle the truth. You can handle the truth. They can't. They won't. They will have people policing the comment section because they can't handle any kind of criticism, nice or not, constructive or not. They cannot handle what they put out themselves every day. And I mean, it's just interesting. I know that word really bothers me. He blurred his background, but whenever he hands his phone to Matt Cooper, you'll see an interesting little soiree or what you'll see. I don't want to, I want to get y'all's reaction from it, really do. He just said the women have to pay his legal fees and then ask for money for his legal fees. Yeah. Good catch. Dogson, yes. Oh yeah. AI Giller says, oh, Tim, I just can't believe people buy this shit. And then defend him while they pay him to exploit them and the children that he alleges to rescue. I don't doubt that there are children and innocent people, victims that we don't know about. I don't doubt that one bit. But it's not because of anybody else trafficking or it's a group effort here, okay? I think that there's nobody is actually saving anybody, and he's actually getting paid. He's exploiting the fact that, in my opinion, this is my little conspiracy. Just saying. He's exploiting the fact that, this is even happening, that he's going to infiltrate and save children and use paramilitary ops and jumping out of freaking helicopters. Make sure the movie camera's there, right? M. Russell Ballard, wink, wink. Gotcha. Marty Gardy, I've really, I don't know. I don't want to. I know what it's like to have missing family members. Okay, I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying, I know what that's like, and I'm very bothered by Gardy Marty's dad. Allegedly his dad. I don't know. That's weird. That's a weird situation all in and of itself. Gardy Marty's dad is like, oh, it's okay. I'll sacrifice the one, Tim, as long as you can save 28 children. Mm-mm. No, no, no. You know that Gardy Marty he'd be 17 years old today? Does he exist at all? I'm just throwing that out there. Does he exist at all? Is Gesno Marty Gardy's dad? Is he in on this ruse too? Is he in on the gig? I'm just asking questions. And there's nothing wrong with asking questions. I'm not dark. I'm not a zombie. I'm not a zombie. Oh man, it's crazy. It's true. The angrier he gets, the more he does. Oh, it's a just woohoo. I'm like, yeah, well, I can see why the damn thing was privated. The call is coming from in-house. Yep, church. I do believe that too. But yeah, I mean, I've questioned whether Gardy Marty even exists, or if they're just exploiting this story because he's a storyteller. And I mean, that's just one of their code phrases, storyteller, keep your powder dry. The Constitution's hanging by a thread. Awaken, arise, rise up. I need to write. I do write. I have a list of their keywords that just that I'm just like, no. Today, whenever I was listening to Wordwise, y'all, please go subscribe to a channel called Wordwise. This is what she does as a profession. She has been analyzing all of Chad Daybell's books and summing up his personality, basically, and like telling us what Chad is, writing about. And just, she's really, and it's not from a LDS perspective. And I like that. So I appreciate that. She is such a, she brings a lot of value to this community. Okay. A lot of understanding. And I really appreciate everything that she has brought to the table just in such a short period of time. I'm like, oh my God. So y'all go check that out. Wordwise is the channel name. But today she was reading Evading Babylon, I want to say it was, from Chad Daybell. And I'll be damned if Chad didn't write the Constitution's hanging by a thread. And I was like, and ba-doom boom, psh, there it is. It's that 2 words, Wordwise. Maybe one of the mods can go handle. I just saw a comment. Grab the link for her channel if you don't mind. Sacrifice the one. Yep, telling you what they are actually doing. Amen. And it's horrible. It's horrible. Right? Rise up. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Ravina, I ain't seen you in a hot minute, girl. LDS perspective just means the lie. They told all that's not what we believe. Crowd. I know. I know. And I do really feel bad for those who really don't believe this or don't practice this or whatever. But I mean, I just really think it's such a slippery slope now. And it's just like, I feel confident to say, or, I don't feel, I've seen it way too many times, I really have. And I mean, again, it's not to be like, you're right, I'm wrong. Or I'm right, you're wrong. Uh, It's not a left right thing. This is a come on now. Come on. You cannot continue to get away with this kind of hypocrisy and just abuse, blasphemy. I mean, of all things. Anybody that scared me from the beginning, y'all. I'm not playing. I heard cult being mentioned, from my Uncle Charles. And I was like, Charles Manson. Like, I was just like, what? And I mean, and I mean, all the way to, I forgot what I was going to say. This happens. This happens. Okay. I got a little excited. We don't teach the 144,000, we don't have the churches, and I'm just like, but I didn't know anything about Mormonism. Nothing. Didn't know there's like a Mormon Jesus, and I didn't know anything. I didn't know Lori and Charles were Mormon. That's how much it did not come up or matter. We talked more about Breaking Bad, if you want to be honest. I mean, if you want me to be honest. So, I mean, it just wasn't a biggie. Okay. And I like to think that that's because, I mean, yes, religion and faith and all that is important, but I mean, it's kind of a collective bag, it's not just skin. And I'm not just saying, hey, I love Jesus, and I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I mean, it's not just saying it, it's actually doing it and sharing it and showing by example. Anyways, let me get off this little soapbox.
That came out by a representative saying of the church, saying that I used Elder Ballard's name to convince these women. First of all, we were cutting them. They were dying to get on operations. One of them, I mean, there's so much I want to say.
Please.
But like, we're saving it for court. But like,
yeah.
Imagine you were raped and then the next day you texted the guy, say, hey, how are you? When am I going to see you again? And then the next day after that calls the recruiter for the team, who's my right-hand man, who's here with us, and says, hey, when are you going to train me? I got to get this done and that done. That sounds like someone who just got raped.
No.
Oh my God.
Reporting 2 years later, okay? I'm telling you, there will be a day in this life or the next where they get to see all the kids whose suffering is.
Y'all, he believes in multiple mortal probations in this life or the next. I'm just saying. Plus, he believes he's a premortal soul. Mm-hmm.
Right-hand man who's here with us and says, hey, when are you going to train me? I got to get this done and that done. That's like someone who just got raped.
No.
Reporting 2 years later, okay? I'm telling you, there will be a day in this life or the next where they get to see all the kids whose suffering is immense. One in particular who's hiding behind an acronym because she knows that her and I went in, and I can talk about this one because look, we got this trafficker locked up. But I mean, there is no way, and she'd be on the stand. She couldn't lie that much. I don't think she couldn't. She'd have to admit it because too many people were there. The only way we infiltrated was together. You know, the whole point of this is, funny enough, is to not engage in sex. If I wanted sex, Troy, guess what? I wouldn't hire any contractor. I would just go down and have as much sex as I want with these beautiful prostitutes.
Yeah.
You
don't need to go to you mean you don't need to go to South America with 20 people to flirt with somebody, right?
Right. The whole point is to.
Where are the kids? Where are the kids? Where are the kids? Oh my God. Yeah, that applies to this situation too, because, it's also alleged. And I mean, this is just me. I found, that talk or whatever Tim gave at I forget the name of the damn conference center. It's really irrelevant, but Tim Ballard was being the salesman that he is, right? Okay. The little, in my opinion, the con man that he is. Okay. And so he's sitting there pitching, and this was in 2019, this talk or this presentation. Okay. And that's where I found Tim selling this whole idea about whenever you serve, you get all these endorphins, oxytocin. I don't want to name all the things because I'm not going to be able to remember them, but he starts naming all of the hormones that, the feel good things that open up the heavens and yada yada yada. And I'm just like, oh my God, knowing what I know now and what I've researched about, it's so in your face. What they're really talking about is so in your face, and it's even more insulting, because it just is. But he mentions that Tom Harrison is where he got this research from. Okay. And he mentions Tom Harrison, and I'm just like, oh, that was really, it's not like I watched everything that Tim Ballard has ever put out. I would be here, this lifetime and the next one and the next one, and all the probations, trying to catch up at all this dude and his friends' content. Okay. I don't know what little sales team they have behind them, and I'm just like, damn. But actually, I do. And I don't know how to break that video because it's a pretty it's like the pre-plan. It's like the pre-whiteboard meeting. But of course there was one in 2017 as well. So there's multiple whiteboard meetings, okay, where it in my opinion, from my unprofessional, unsolicited opinion here, I have a video of Ken Krogh, and Tim Ballard's there. I forget who else is in the little meeting, and they have a camera pointing at the whiteboard, and Ken Krogh is just going to town, and it looks like a damn football hell, the game plan or whatever. And to me, it appears that they're writing out lists, and I mean, really, it looks like they're planning, and they're, let me not say it in such negative terms, but they are, planning, they are brainstorming, they are, doing it probably what business people do. Okay. And that's not me either, but I'm just saying I do that, but not to this level. Okay. But there's this 2-hour video I have, and that was sent to me. And it's very long, but it's very detailed, and it shows where they write down all these names and list all these famous people, influencers, on how many views and stuff that they have and how popular they are, and just it's so crazy. And so I'm like, either they're naming all these famous people, and I guess you'd say successful influencers, who will either they're targeting, allegedly. It could look like that, or perhaps maybe saying, hey, they're cool too, and so, you join us on the exploit, in my opinion. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't really know how to break that. I don't know how to, I'm not good with breaking things down, I'm just like, here, you want to see this? Look, this whole 2-hour video. Oh my God. And then let's talk about, I can break it down with people, I don't know. It's weird. I'm not a journalist. I'm not an investigator. I'm just Tylee and JJ, Charles. They were my family members, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to expose all of those that have my family's blood on their hands, right? Here we are.
To not engage in sexual activity. But hey, people ask the question, how many people would lick a toilet bowl for $1,000? And probably more people than you'd want to, you don't want to admit would do that. But well, every time I think about the 14 that we just rescued, I just know there's probably 50 more that would have been rescued had Sasha not come out, banging her fist all dramatically. This has to stop. What has to stop? The only thing that stopped was rescuing children.
You just not.
So I don't know how you live with that. Even if you.
In the very beginning of this, he said, hold on. What? Okay, let's mark our time. We're at 12:20. Okay, I'm gonna go right back here to the beginning.
I was in Ecuador because we're building a task force aerial recovery, and we're going to build a task force. And I went to speak, and two private investigators from Utah showed up at my event. They flew all the way to Ecuador to try to catch me in some lie.
So that's illegal?
But we caught them. The police caught them and kicked them out.
No, that's a lie.
That's how far they're going here. They're putting everything out there. But like I said, they've lost every battle in court so far. I think there are a few more dismissals, and not only are they getting dismissed, but two of them have to pay. My guess is,
what does that tell you, folks? What does that tell you?
Yeah, the judge has ordered the women to pay me and to pay OUR because the lies were that bad, and that's going to continue to happen. My prediction is that these girls are going to turn on their attorney and say, "You promised us millions," and instead they're losing everything. Because believe me, there's a lot of lawsuits that are about to. We're sitting back. Lawsuits are coming, and there's going to be a lot of them. And our lawsuits are actually going to be backed by facts, by video. You know, these people who keep saying, "I read the filings. I know he's guilty." What are you talking about? You read a novel that somebody wrote.
Right.
You can write anything in there.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not sure where he says it. It was pretty. I don't have the transcript to just go right to it, but he says, "Oh crap!"
Ballard on location, in car, smashing pumpkins, playing in the background. Actually, that's what I just heard a few minutes ago when I came on. Welcome to the program, brother. What's going on, man? Where are you coming from? What's going on?
He's texting.
Dude, I'll tell you, you're not recording this live, right?
No, I'm recording. I mean, I'm editing later.
I'm only saying that because we're still in country. We just finished a huge operation.
Right here.
It's been about 2.5 years in the making. And we're just kind of, we just finished it, been hiding out, and now we're heading home. But first, I want to thank you on your, I don't know if it was one of your last podcasts, for explaining to people, like the Blaze, you know, my good friend Glenn Beck, who clearly wants to be so fair. Okay, I don't know how much he has to do with.
I don't know how much he has to do with.
In the headlines that Tim Ballard's DNA, according to the court document. I just want to make something clear that you made clear before. I could say that you were raping dogs in your backyard, and I could submit to the court, and I could call that a court document. So the headline says, according to court documents, Tim's DNA is all over the skirt. So it sounds so official, and then no one bothers to explain to people. Nasty. Anyone can make up a court document. I could file anything against anyone and say anything I want.
Noted.
And all these trolls who follow and say, just go read the filing. You got to understand, these women all got together. I know this for a fact. And they just repeated each other's lies. So it sounds consistent. But anyway, just because something says court documents means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
DNA, if you understand how we operate, but we can get into that later.
Right.
But I just want to thank you for
absolutely
pointing out so many things to people.
Trying to get to where who
just don't understand.
Even children.
But this operation, man, was especially, it was probably the most dangerous one. And it has to do with the lawsuit. I can't get into like the specifics and give away tactics.
I don't want to.
But there was only one possible way to find this trafficker. And I used an actress. We used actresses on purpose. And she was phenomenal in the operation.
Yeah, his eyes just rolled right there too. Yeah.
And I used an actress. We used actresses on purpose. And she was phenomenal in the operation. In fact,
So when do we expect her to file her lawsuit? Just asking.
We have her given the debrief on location. Luckily, somebody filmed it. Where
Luckily.
she's all excited because we identified the children. Okay. 2.5 years
right.
later, she's pounding.
All right. I'm going to go back to where we were because we're repeating. We're being like a plunger. Y'all brought y'all's plungers because Tim bringing up old shit. Okay. Tim bringing up old shit. All right. We'll start right about here. Ooh.
We just got a third dismissal yesterday.
Yeah, I heard the news. Congratulations, brother.
And you know what that one was about? This girl, Whitehead, Suzanne Whitehead, and
she filed against.
She was disparaging and
Whitehead or whatever. She had filed against Sean Reyes. I remember that one because it's a pretty telling novel court document that was filed. Allegations that were filed by Lynn. I think her name's Lynn Whitehead. And don't quote me on the first name, but anyways, she's a fellow anti-trafficking organization that this one, it appears to me that this one and his OUR company that, or OUR NPO that Tim founded and then left right when shit was getting hot. When the ST shit was hitting the fan, okay? And anyways, I forget. Damn.
Defaming us online. She has a little foundation in Utah.
And you you drifted her on that.
I can't remember the name of it. Clearly jealous because OUR was, making like 1,000 times what she was making. And so she was just trying to take us down. I sent her it was a very nice email.
He just said, because we were making 1,000 times what she was making. What are you making, Tim? What are you making? Money? Money? Victims? Movies? Big bold claims? Conspiracy theories? Making stories up? I mean, we can go on and on and on. Making fake tattoos with nasty, he is so freaking extra, y'all. Oh my god, this dude gets on my last nerve.
I said, look, do you want to sit down? I never even met her. I just making a legation in Utah called I can't remember the name of it. Clearly jealous because OUR was, making like 1,000 times what she was making. And so she was just trying to take us down. I sent her it was a very nice email. I said, look, do you want to sit down? I never even met her. I just said, want to sit down and ask questions? I can explain to you. It doesn't cost $50,000 to a kid. Oh yeah? It can cost up to $150,000. We don't just walk in and take these kids out of traffickers. We take down a whole trafficking ring.
No.
That means multiple trips. That means surveillance equipment. That means multiple contractors.
Janet?
Most contractors would.
Who? Your psychic? She's your flipping intel. Okay, Nephi, whatever, which is just code talk. It's just like Chad and Lori's freaking priesthood blessing bullshit. Okay, I'm telling you, this is what's going on through these priesthood blessings. In my opinion, from my view, it appears to me that perhaps orders are being barked down from, the Mormon mafia types. Okay. Old mafia, I'd say, where they used to walk outside, and because they were pretty, always doing some really egregious shit and jacked up stuff, they knew that they were being, surveilled and everything by the feds, and they would walk, with their hands over their mouths so that people couldn't read their lips, so that the investigators couldn't read their lips. Okay. And so I feel, in my opinion, that somebody from higher up is barking down these orders via Janet Russin, via Ken Krogh, via Tom Harrison. And they're like, oh yeah, Tim, with the priesthood blessing. And they're like, oh yeah, you're going to be the future prophet of the Mormon church. And, you're going to be the next president of the United States. To me, that's church and state. That kind of conflict of interest, if I must point that out right now. Very Antichrist vibes, if you know what I'm saying. At least U.S. at least the US version of the Antichrist. Okay. But I really do. I swear. And I mean, I size this up. I study it all the time. I know I don't make, I'm not a very effective speaker, but I'm very observant. Okay. And when I'm being serious, you know, I can blow your hair back, but just with my observations of what I think is really going on here. And,
We're charging about $1,000 a day, the ones we need. They do it for like $300 a day.
First class
but
ticket.
even that adds up, right? So to take down a trafficking ring is not, and how she explains it is because she's apparently an expert in rescuing.
You're not.
You know, it only costs like it should only cost like a cost of one plane ticket. That's complete bullcrap. You're going up against cartels who are selling human beings.
I've looked at this.
I can't, y'all. I'm like, it's like rebuking. He was flying people and himself first class, first effing class. He just said, not however many minutes ago or seconds ago or whatever, a while back, that how the lady he's talking about, Whitehead, who has her own her own anti-trafficking organization, who he stole from. He stole her story, posted it. It was something about a blog, okay, allegedly, and then he's gonna sit there and say that she's just jealous of them, of Tim and OUR, and what they're not doing, in my opinion, what they're portraying to do, what they're trying to convince everyone that they're doing, and she's just mad because they make 1,000 times more money than she does. It's not a money-making business, though. You know, I mean,
And it adds up, folks. It adds up. I mean, you have to have money to schmooze with for a while, even. And if that's buying dinner and drinks for people that are on the opposite end of things, you know.
Oh yeah, they're on the opposite
alcohol end. For the bad guys. You're
pretending
to be a.
Tim's the bad guy because he don't only consume his alcohol that, you know, whatever, but he also gets the women to spit it into his mouth. So, you know, love you.
Player, you've got airline tickets for everybody going over there. You've got Airbnbs that you have to get. You've got all the red.
He saves money by, you know, by sharing a bed and a room and everything with his victims, or, you know, via the couples ruse that was sanctioned by Elder Ballard.
Red tape you have to pay for. It goes on and on, right? That's all I wanted to say. That's
just any business, okay? It's life.
Absolutely. It's very expensive to do operations. Anyway.
Oh, and just take a minute to observe the background here. Okay. Just, it gives you the illusion kind of that you're in some, you know, foreign place, you know, where they have people like OUR and the Spear Fund and Tim Ballard. Oh my God.
Anywhere from $30,000 up to $120,000, depending. And it's so offensive. The one who's hiding behind the acronym. She doesn't remember this. Well, she will. I hope they all listen to this.
Me too. How many in here hope that they are listening to this?
The day or two before she sued, he sat down with a mutual friend, and they said, "Would you do it all over again?" She said, "Absolutely."
Not would you?
Because we rescued kids, and she was crying, and she's like, "Well, why are you doing this?" "Well, I believe the other girls, so I just like I have to do this." And then she makes up these stories like, "I have strict rules. Like sometimes we have to go into these like bad places, right? Like we say, we don't rescue kids in hospitals and schools."
He is such a dumbass.
Stories like, "I have strict rules. Like sometimes we have to go into these like bad places, right? Like we say, we don't rescue kids in hospitals and schools, right? They're like."
Tim's making victims every day
in the basement of massage parlors or brothels. And so there's times when we have to go in pretending to be a couple, get the intel without having any sexual contact. And there's ways.
Quit giving away your tactics, dude.
do that because we're very creative. We have rules.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
one of the rules is
This is coming from the same, like, what am I trying to say? Not society, but generation, or it is Mormon society. It is social, where, I mean, I did not know what soaking was. Google it. I dare you. Go look up soaking. And that's very creative ways for people who are not supposed to be and are shamed for having impure thoughts, who are what is it, purity? I don't know all the terms. There's too many things to remember. Okay, but like shaming them and saying, "Oh my God, you're not supposed to have sex until you're married," yada yada yada. Which, I mean, kind of pushes a lot of the young people who are coming, young members of the church who are going and growing up and everything, and so they're finding creative ways to do very natural things. Okay, fornicators, you know what I mean? I'm just picking, but and it starts way back there, you know. I don't know how to stop this. It's toxic and it's sick, and to me it's creating the narcissist that we are seeing, and the abuse and the torture and the murder and the duct tape and the plastic bags and the things that we are seeing playing out in the essay, and just all the things. And this is creating the monster, I think, that we're seeing play out today.
you keep your clothes on. You don't get naked. Well, she comes out
Oh, whoa, how did it get on her skirt then? I'm just asking for a friend.
during one of these cases in a certain country and you know, when all this comes out, people realize like these countries are offended. Their ops got shut down. She comes out with her top
Their
off,
ops got shut down.
shocked the heck out of me. I'm like, what are you doing? But I can't say anything in the moment. So we go do we get the intel we need.
I called that the other day. So we go do our thing. We go, he called himself again.
With her top off, shocked the heck out of me. I'm like, what are you doing? But I can't say anything in the moment. So we go do we get the intel we need. I don't touch her. I don't, we have different methods we use, so you don't have to do any touching. And then she puts in this is an example. And then she puts in the lawsuit. Tim had me break his own rule by having me come out with my top off. And she knows.
Look how angry he looks. He is a ticking time bomb himself. Y'all, I mean, these are dangerous people, in my opinion, because they are just loose fucking cannons, and they are okay with this, with not showing proof, with lying, in my opinion, with lying about what they are doing. Not just lying a little, it's like lying about some really big things about, and they hide behind these good guises or whatever, hiding behind Jesus Christ and the, what that's supposed to incorporate, entail. They're hiding behind Jesus Christ and the noble cause of saving flipping children. But yet they have nothing but carnage and victims, both named and unnamed, in their wakes. And and then, I mean, who does this? Who that actually has a nonprofit organization that is so noble, who that's saving children allegedly, who comes out and does a whole smear campaign, character assassination, Lori Daybell 2.0. I mean, they all do this though, and it's in a very passive aggressive way. It's never just right, to their faces or anything. It's dirty and it's nasty, and we're watching it. We've been watching this. It's not Christ-like. It's not even nice. You're not even being a nice person. Who does that? So you try to be better than what people are accusing you of. You do that by your acts, you do that. You show people, I can show you better than I can tell you. So just because you're being a shitty person doesn't mean that I have to stoop to your level and be a shitty person too. It's not like a contest like that.
Damn well. Like, sorry, I just felt like in that moment, it would have been more convincing if I came out with my shirt off. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like fire you over that. My wife says, yeah, you should have fired her. But he felt like he needed to do that. But he just puts it on me. I have, that's how completely.
That's just one.
The worst one is that they all got, I was very close friends with President M. Russell Ballard. Very close. And this is a sensitive topic, but I'm gonna go here with you right now. Like, so close, we took trips together. I was in his house. He would call me. I saw him probably once or twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ask this guy, and Coop, you'll be talking a little later.
Yeah. Oh.
How close a relationship did I have with M. Russell
Now check that out.
Whoa. I think it's closest.
We're going to be observing this, okay? We're going to observe this for a minute, all right? All right, Mohawk Mom. Come on. I need my come on.
And
right here. I mean, they're in a van, like a big high top
talking a little
vehicle. I mean, there's this. I mean, note who these people are, because then you'll see another opportunity for this
later. How close?
Let's go back. Hold on.
Close. And this is a sensitive topic, but I'm gonna go here with you right now. Like, so
Matt,
close, we took trips together. I was in his house. He would call me. I saw him probably once or twice a month. And I'll ask this guy, and Coop, you'll be talking a little later. How close a relationship did I have with M. Russell Ballard? I think it's close as his own kids, maybe even closer. That's the truth, okay? So these women all knew that.
Just note that.
A convenient lie, because they want to act like I spiritually manipulated them.
No, it wasn't spiritually,
they
boo.
got together and
it wasn't just spiritually, boo. Okay, you need to watch your own damn tapes. Okay.
So these women all knew that, and so
no, he said they did. Okay, I thought he just admitted it. My bad.
Convenient lie, because they want to act like I spiritually manipulated them. Is they got together and they said, hey, let's all say that Tim used Elder Ballard's name to get us to do this. Okay, first of all, how hard was it, man, to get them to do this? Did we have to
give him a hand job? I'm just asking.
No, they volunteered.
What's he doing?
They'd show up.
Why is he hugging the damn seat? I'm just wondering.
Okay, first of all, how hard was it, man, to get them to do this? Did we have to convince them? No, they volunteered. They'd show up to us. I didn't have to convince anyone. And what a stupid lie, anyway. And you got to be a total idiot to believe that. If they're.
Call me an idiot, then.
I didn't have to convince anyone. And what a stupid lie, anyway. And you got to be a total idiot to believe that. If their story is true. The church put a statement out saying that I betrayed my friendship with Elder Ballard. It's the most offensive thing that's happened.
You've betrayed you've betrayed humanity, dude.
I say the church, I don't know what that means. People inside, they came out and said that I betrayed my friendship with Elder Ballard.
Oh, get that right. Oh, Lord, God forbid the freaking church that excommunicated you publicly first. Via what I believe and what I've heard was Gordon Bowen, the LDS Church of Satan, the Punisher, who's accused of being in a satanic cult with David Levitt and David Hamblin and about 144 plus people who are higher, they have good standings and they're good people. They're good Mormons. All right. And, but there's like 144 plus named individuals who are part of this ring, this sex ring, this trafficking ring. All right, in my opinion, right there under your noses, just right there. I mean, in your face, you know. Look at that face, by the way. But Gordon Bowen, okay, he designed the 2002 Olympic torch, okay, and he was with Mitt Romney, okay. He was Gordon Bowen was known as Elder Ballard's prodigal son. Yeah. Okay. Well, Timmy's his little golden boy too. And I'm just like, why do they don't get along? That's what I'm trying to understand right now. Like, why would Gordon Bowen, you know, be the one that, you know, typed up the little email from with the church official church header and everything, official church email, and then email that saying that Tim had what was it, immoral behavior, unacceptable immoral behavior, and send that to Vice News. And that's whenever the church allegedly publicly kneecapped Tim. That's before his excommunication, his court of love. Okay. His alleged excommunication. I'll just say that. I don't know. I need to see papers. But I'm just saying. It's just, there's so many lies and deception, and I don't believe in none of them. Okay. That's where I'm at.
I say the church, I don't know what that means. People
But
inside.
they're so worried. Tim said later off camera to tell y'all he meant whomever was representing that decision, not the church. God forbid.
They came out and said that I betrayed my friendship with Elder Ballard.
If you didn't, then okay, get the F over it, dude. Everybody, he done died. Okay, he's over it. He's under it. I'm sorry. Oh, God save me. I'll have to do some praying whenever I'm done with this. I'm sorry, y'all. But no, I mean, get over it. Again, get your plungers out. Tim is bringing up old shit.
And used his name. And the
Who gives a
only
shit?
solace I have is that I know he's on the other side
Yeah, allegedly.
and knows the truth. But never, ever did I talk specifics with him about how we do
Right.
operations. I wouldn't want him to even know that. Right?
But know
Because
what?
I've never even had a conversation with him about it. He never authorized it, and I never said he authorized it. So
They
the fact
did.
that someone representing the church would say something that is not true, and then disseminate it to Vice magazine and Deseret book, Deseret, and other
We know.
places that they own, networks. That's really bad.
That is bad.
That's really, really, really bad. I know that they don't know that. All they know is that a handful of women said that. Of course they did. It's, if you think about it, it's the most convenient lie to try to make me look bad. And I will never confess something that. And I have this great bishop, and
He doesn't say I never did that. I will never lie about doing that. So he just says I never lied about saying that.
but it's the most convenient lie
Using
to try
his
to
name.
make me look bad. And I will never confess something that. And I have this great bishop, and I said, Bishop, I'm not going to confess something I didn't do. I will never do it. I'll go to my grave first. And can you imagine, even if I had, Troy, even if I had done these things, what did you
do? Didn't you have to go to Elder Ballard just so that you could do and look at all the kitty porn and everything, from Homeland Security, which was before Operation Underground, all the things, okay? We've heard, we've all listened. We listen to what you're saying and we watch what you are doing, and they don't add up. They don't match up, and you are a fraud. And so, yeah, you're debunked. Okay.
Jesus treat the adulterer?
Not like this.
Did he write an article in the Jerusalem Times?
I honestly am just saying, and this is just my opinion. I mean, I don't think Elder Ballard is innocent either. Okay. So there's that. I wouldn't, his blessing doesn't mean a damn thing in my eyes, because I don't think any of them are godly, or they don't, nah. Wrong Lord.
I'm saying, hey, guess what? I came across an adulterer and she's immoral. I mean, what would Jesus do?
Well, exactly. I mean,
We would cast y'all's asses out. And I mean, rebuke right now.
we understand how the other side operates.
What
That's
other
a
side?
given, right? Vice News,
All the bad guys, all the anti-Mormons.
The other side, they're not gonna be.
Get the fuck over yourselves, okay? For real. Nobody is trying to persecute you. Y'all are just freaking ignorant assholes.
Christ-like. But what surprised me and what concerned me was, if we go back to the times of Joseph Smith, how many times was he arrested and found innocent? 60-something times. The church didn't distance themselves from the prophet at that time when he was being arrested and found innocent.
Well, sometimes they did. If you know the history, sometimes.
Yeah, well,
did. That's why I would never say the church. I would just say people inside the church.
Exactly.
Because there's no way there's leadership. I guarantee you, put my life on it. In fact, I know for a fact, because I've talked to some who knows that was wrong. Even if I had done it, to go out to the public, they did it, I think, because the headline would have been Elder Ballard accused of pimping out women or whatever.
Right.
Take notes.
Instead, I guess better than a whole, that one man perished and his family.
Okay. I mean, take notes, because that's what the headline, that's what I saw the headline as in my mind, because that's what I think it is. I think that, again, I already said it, but I know it's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to piss people off. And so, I mean, I get it. I'll take it. I mean, because I do mean it, and it sucks. I don't like that. I used to look at the leaders of your church, your organization. I'm not even from this religion. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Believe who you want to believe in, worship who you want to worship in. But I mean, my family, but don't victimize my family. Don't murder my family. And then don't pretend like, oh, that's not us. But then you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like that. There's something really wrong in this entire situation. It's really wrong. It's opposite. It's inverted. Okay. And I mean, but through processing and grieving and dealing with all of, and just trying to understand why Chad and Lori believed what they believed. How did we get here? Like, how did we get, I don't hate Chad and Lori even. They murdered my flipping family. They had my mom marked, okay, for death. I mean, okay. I do have a dog in this hunt. I do have a voice in this. My family does not. They don't have their voices anymore because they are dead. They're murdered. They're gone. Okay. And what I'm saying is that through my research and just trying to get a grasp of what is going on with this whole circus of murderers and torturers and just all these abusers, exploiters, all these grifters, they are I don't have the word, but through that I was like, no way. I never, although in my gut, it's just, there was something telling me that this goes higher, this goes up, this goes all the way up. And I mean up in the organization. I had no basis for that. None whatsoever. None. But it just felt, it's been my gut feeling. I mean, I've tried shutting it up. I've been like, no. I've talked, tried to talk myself out of that belief or whatever. Like, that suspicion, like, oh, wow, how can this go all the way up? And I do. And I think it goes up right through this avenue right here. And it goes up to the person that I thought it did too. In my opinion, it went up to M. Russell Ballard and higher, and I mean, they're all buds anyways. Catholics, Scientologists, freaking Mormons, they go meet at the damn Vatican and, talk about Jesus stuff, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I'll just say that to be But but through researching and just trying to understand why I had that gut feeling, why my intuition was so strong and my suspicions were so strong that this went higher up, that there's more people with my family's blood on their hands that I think, and I vowed to my family that I would expose. Okay. And I'm going to be a woman of my word. I try to be, but, to expose these people, because it's not just my family's blood on their hands. There's so many more victims and family members of victims of people like this. Okay. Of this thinking, this doing, this, whatever this is. But through this whole case, through all this process, through the difficult research, through all the things, the 5 years we have spent together, 4 years we've spent together online, going through this together, it also made me look at, how I was raised Catholic, how, everybody worships the Pope. And I'm just like, why do people, I never understood why people worship a man. I'm like, I can picture them doing the number 2 or whatever, playing freaking Angry Birds. Okay. They poop and they pee and they do really bad stuff allegedly. And they put their pants on the same way you and I do, one leg at a time. They're no better. Man. Okay. They're not God. They're not God. And so I'm not going to sit there and hold them up to that. Okay. My grandfather shook hands with the Pope, John Paul, went to the Vatican and studied. And I'm just like, I'm really weirded out and grossed out by that now. And I'm just like, wow, the deception is real. And so through Lori and Chad, I questioned my entire world. Okay. Of how I was raised, what I was conditioned to believe and think. When I would pass a Catholic church, I always did the sign of the cross because it was a sign of respect, to do the sign of the cross whenever you pass the altar of a church, Catholic church. And I'm like, why just Catholic church? It just doesn't make up. It doesn't make sense to me when you start doing and putting these things together, But anyways, I digress. Through this, I realized that these guys aren't godly people. Okay. And this is LDS Inc. And this is Catholic Inc. and all the inks. Okay. They're here to just dupe all of us. Okay. We're not getting out of this alive. And you don't need to prep anything except for, being right with humanity, being right with your moral compass, being a good person, because that's what you're supposed to do. And that's how you want to be treated. Okay. Not just, and don't expect anything. You just do it because that is the right thing to do. And anyways, you'd be surprised, Timmy and Troy, how many positive changes I think that you would see just by being not such a negative and shitty ass person. Just saying. All right, that went too long.
And Elder Ballard accused of pimping out women or whatever.
Right.
So instead, I guess better that that one man perished and his family.
Yeah.
Than a whole nation. Blah blah blah. I don't know if that's the excuse, but of all the offenses, that's the one that's hurt the most. Is I did not say that. I've never come close to saying that. And that anyone inside of my church that I love, and
what
I
church?
Still believe
they don't love you,
and I still go with my family, and I still participate, and I still defend. Everybody knows that was wrong.
Yeah.
There's no one that would say, "Oh, that was the right thing." That's what Jesus would do.
Tim's not getting any DeFi from the Catholic Church. I'll tell you that right now. But he is not. He'll take the money. Okay, Tim worships the god of green money.
He'll put an article out in the Jerusalem Times and say, "Hey, guess what? I found someone who's unworthy," or what they say.
Again, unworthy is not a word that I use or that ever is like, oh my God, if you're not worthy, then you don't get to pass go. You don't collect $200. You don't get into any of our heavens. You don't get to be with God. You don't, anyways, it's not about living right and being right, and it's just treating others how you want to be treated, just basic humanitarian, just humaning. That's all. Can't even do that.
I committed an immoral act. Okay.
Did you?
Now we can jump over to another case that's really
No, let's
interesting.
go back.
This case of Kelly Suarez.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to mention that real quick. There's a documentary that came out with and I've got a cameo in it. So I'm getting famous right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Janet.
Red pill, like red pill.
Yeah.
Something.
And it's so
Taking a red pill.
preposterous. I mean, and I let my audience.
Guess how many times Red Pill America came to us and
I
said,
don't
"Hey,
know.
what kind of comment do you have about Miss Kelly Suarez?" About just many times.
Right.
They didn't care about the truth. Just like when that statement came out, how many times was I questioned about, "Hey, these women are saying X, Y, and Z about you. What do you have to say?" No.
You seem to be like right on point, though. I mean, you keep on top of the headlines. Obviously, it sounds like.
One time
No.
was I questioned by any church authority.
Right.
What the hell is a church authority? Has nothing to do with the law, dum dum.
Before that statement came out. So does that sound like
Or media?
someone looking for truth?
No, not at all.
Or does that sound like a PR move?
It's a bit. It,
Sounds like some bullshit you spinning. Just saying.
it's very much
I'll
a
tell you
PR
what,
move.
That statement's not going to age well. And
Okay.
that documentary that you're in is going
This is the first truth Tim has said this whole time.
to age even worse.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
they don't know what
Oh, we
have.
know.
We have video documentation
Two truths.
that we still haven't revealed. This woman sat with the trafficker.
It has nothing to do with the goddamn movie, Tim. Nobody wants your documentary. Nobody wants to go pay for themselves to go watch another one of your fake propaganda money schemes. You and your partners, okay? Your whiteboard prophecy, I'll say. And there's no sizzle here, babe. Just fizzle. And oh my God. Oh, and then pay ahead and pay forward to pad your pockets even more. Y'all are nasty. Y'all are nasty, man.
Sold us kids. She argued for her percentage of the child sex hotel.
That floored me. I was like, child sex hotel, what? What the fuck is a child? Jason was like, yeah, a few years ago. I was like, what? Oh my God, how did that fly over my head this whole time? A child sex hotel they're building. For what? Okay, Levitt, Shalom Levitt. That's what it sounds like. Trying to normalize it. Transhumanism.
That we still haven't revealed. This woman sat with the traffickers.
Yeah, Epstein, he's gone. So there's just one little area.
All the kids. She argued for her percentage of the child sex hotel. The prosecutor's just laughing. The 4 other traffickers that were arrested with her are trying to plead guilty.
Is this the corrupt place you say? These third world countries, this is the corruption you say, right? That's why you're there doing all this noble cause and saving freaking children. But yet you're sitting there saying the prosecutor's laughing. Well, I mean, doesn't that corroborate everything else about what you say about these? Anyways.
So they to get less time. But Mortensen and Rasmussen got to her.
That's going to hurt.
And said, hey, you're going to make millions. My prediction is at the end of this, these women are going to turn on their attorneys because Celeste already owes me $20,000. Yeah, just know this is
It does not justify you sexually abusing, spiritually manipulating. It doesn't justify the shitty shit you have done, allegedly.
My prediction is at the end of this, these women are going to turn on their attorneys. Because Celeste already owes me $20,000. Yeah, just know there's so much stuff.
And he wouldn't be happier. He wants to see these women burn at the stake.
that our side hasn't put out yet.
Okay.
Why? What they wait on? The second coming? Okay. I mean, get in line.
But it's just crazy. So this woman, Kelly Suarez, who was selling children. I have multiple witnesses, including the Attorney General of Utah.
Oh, that's no shocker, boo. That's not a shocking statement you just said right there. We don't doubt it. We don't doubt it. But check this out. Just check out this whole. I was just like, ew. Just listen to how he says this.
But it's just crazy. So this woman, Kelly Suarez, who was selling children, I have multiple witnesses, including the Attorney General of Utah, ironically. He was standing right there listening. We have video of him retelling the story about her selling kids. So, but Red Pill, that documentary, how come they didn't come ask for it? We would have given it to them. We've already dispersed some of the material out to.
Oh, that just reminded me of like Summer Shiplet and Melanie Pulaski. Well, they didn't ask the right questions. Bullshit.
Some of the local Utah news, and I think they might have played a little bit of it, but not even all of it, because the more sensational story is, the rise and fall of Tim Ballard is much more exciting than
well, of course,
selling children.
He's a little full of himself.
These are real kids, and more to come on this.
Ooh.
But I hesitate to. I'm gonna probably save it.
Word bomb.
They've gone to some of the rescued kids and tried to get the kids who I rescued
to do what?
And Pedro,
and they won't do it. They won't do it.
Pedro was one of them, and if you guys don't know, Pedro was in the movie Sound of Freedom. Well, not Pedro, but there was an actor that portrayed Pedro, and he was the little boy on the island. What did they call him? Simba.
Quit equating real life alleged abuse and victims as characters in a freaking movie. God,
that was real, folks. And this Red Pill is coming out and saying that because he said one day, he meant he had met Suarez. He had only known her for a day, right?
Right, and so therefore he wasn't really trafficked.
Right.
And look, the whole thing is this: law enforcement is stuck in a situation that's compromising all the time. Like I've been online. I spent 20 years doing this, right? So I'm online with a chat group of pedophiles, and one of them says, "I got 2 5-year-olds that I've been raping, and I'll sell them to you for the weekend." Now, you're law enforcement. You got to make a choice. You can say to yourself, "Well, if you really have 2 5-year-olds, what if he doesn't? What if he goes and kidnaps 2 5-year-olds?"
Hold on.
Just to.
I mean, let's just know. I'm sorry. Let's just talk about Mohawk Mom here. Okay. He did not have an accent. Just, oh my God, woman, you're blowing him out the water. You got some excellent analytical skills. Okay. Yes. Pot stir indeed. Holy shit. You go, girl.
Well, if you really have 2 5-year-olds, what if he doesn't? What if he goes and kidnaps 2 5-year-olds just to appease me? So what do? You cancel the op? We can't control how they recruit these kids. We can't control how they recruit them.
This is nasty.
Right? They don't give away their secrets.
Right.
But the point is this: I didn't solicit Kelly Suarez. She solicited me.
Oh,
I was along with the other traffickers who, again, I'll remind you, are pleading guilty. They're trying to plead guilty right now. Suarez is the only one who's not pleading guilty because she's been promised millions of dollars because they're going to win.
Right, and she's an opportunist. She's an opportunist. An attorney went over there and said, "Wink, wink. You weren't trafficked. You're a victim, or you weren't trafficking anyone. You're a victim, right?"
Right.
And she's like, "Oh yeah,
exactly.
Let's go with that."
Exactly. But what they don't know, again, is that we have more video footage than anyone wants to put out because it hurts the narrative that they're trying to peddle.
Your narrative.
But the bottom line is, this kid's life is we've had to move him like 3 different times because this is the cartel, and this woman came out and she's on bond right now, right? And in Colombia, you can only serve a year and a half, even if you kill 10 babies. If you haven't had a trial, you're out on bond. That's just the law, right? So she comes out and starts revealing the name of Pedro, and then they get his address, So he's got a daughter that he adopted from a victim of trafficking, convinced her not to kill herself because he would adopt the baby, and he did. And he wouldn't. And he stood by me when he didn't have to. There's more to the story that that we're saving that
Right.
will blow your mind.
Big interview, folks. Big
now.
And more to come.
Yeah, there's more to come on Pedro that we're waiting to release. But this poor guy is scared to death.
No,
I mean, this woman who is criminal, it's a criminal organization, right? We've had to move him around because he's scared to death for his life. But let's explain how this all happened.
Please.
The Fiscalia, that's the prosecution of Colombia, asked me and my team to go sit on this beach called Playa Blanca and La Isla Barú, these islands of Cartagena.
You can speak Spanish.
Thank
All right.
the Lord that we filmed everything. So we actually film him with undercover cameras. This guy named Fuego, who appears in the film as well. He's one of the ones he's trying to plead guilty right now because he knows he's guilty. He walks up to me and says, "I got kids for sale as young as 11 and 12 years old. If you guys are interested."
Man, he's nasty. Nasty.
Just go watch this because they told us that's what they had heard was happening, but they never had the resources to go out there and have American faces to pretend to be tourists. So they solicited me. I didn't solicit them. I didn't go to Kelly Squatters and say, "Hey, here's a suitcase full of money. Will you go find kids for me?"
Right.
They come to me, so I go back to the Colombian and say, "Here you go. Here's the footage. What do you want us to do?" Oh my God!
Illegal.
They start working the case, and then I passed him off to one of the, my guy in Colombia who's actually an undercover cop. And he calls me, says, "Hey, I need you to come down. Very dangerous. But we're going to go into the house of the boss of Fuego." So, and by the way, this whole thing's a documentary called Triple Take, which we can't wait to put out. But
we can't wait for it either, Tim.
Because the story is continuing. So all this new stuff's going to be in it. So I show up at that, and that's where I meet Kelly Squatters. I didn't pick her up off the street. She showed up, and she said, "Hey,
she just showed up.
I got a 12-year-old for I think $1,000. A 12-year-old." And I said, "Great, that's
yeah, I got that too.
That's what you got." Okay, this is all on video, right? You think that'd be important that the Red Pill documentary included this?
Right.
I'm pretty sure we.
I mean, then all this proof. Why aren't all the civil suits? And I mean, aren't there criminal ones too? Or charges? Why aren't you using this to vindicate you and hurry up and get your tactics, from being leaked? That you blah, 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 that's all we hear, man. We know. I know exactly what's going on here, and it's nasty, and you should be ashamed of yourself. But I know you don't know what that is. And so you try to copy people, the people that those kind of people that do those kind of things where they don't have empathy and stuff. There's a label for that.
Gave this video to Fox 13 Utah, but they want me to be the bad guy. I mean,
well, we don't.
Again, and the other thing, dictator of Colombia. I don't make choices. I don't decide who gets charged and who doesn't. All I do is collect evidence, me and my team. And we turn over that evidence. And as you hear the story, how it progresses, they solicit me. Then the Colombians ask me to go into this place where I'm going to be introduced, according to the trafficker, to other traffickers. And he introduces Kelly Squatters to me, saying she's one of the traffickers. And she's showed up in all these like sexy videos, and she was Miss Cartagena. And so she can recruit people. And then she offers me a kid. And then I have another video of her doing it in a restaurant.
You're on fire, girl.
So are you saying that footage will be available soon in the future?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We've already turned over some of it, but the news does very little with it because it doesn't fit the narrative, right?
Bullshit.
Bullshit. So it's station. I asked one of the traffickers, whose name is Samuel, who, again, he's trying to plead guilty because he knows he is. I said, "Can we do anything with these kids?" mean, these are young kids, and can we do anything with them? And he says, well, yeah, but you know, the youngest ones try to be, and then Kelly comes in and says, delicada. So we're to be delicate with them. And so she finishes the sentence. In context, clearly we're talking about children because she's answering a question about how to rape little babies. Well, she knew that footage was out there because we used it in her court case. And she said, no, I was talking about me. That if you want to have sex with me, be delicate.
Oh.
Like, are you kidding me? You know the question was about little children.
Does Tim talk like an educated and well-trained investigator? He doesn't talk at all like that. He's very gossipy and shit stir, not a pot stir, shit stir.
Anyway, and then there's more footage at the island where they're talking about how much money that they're going to all make on the child sex hotel.
Ugh.
And she's arguing for like whatever, 20%, blah, blah, blah. The prosecutor can't believe this. So Mortensen and Rasmussen, who are representing all these women, they go down there. He actually says one of the most defamatory things, which, believe me, there'll be consequences when this all comes out.
Oh, yeah, there will be.
And says, ironically, the true trafficker was Tim Ballard.
But
how is that possible? The story I just told you, that's backed by video footage, right? I'm the trafficker.
Yeah.
And so she's all excited. We're talking about the prosecutor told you.
Let's hear that again.
And says, ironically, the true trafficker was Tim Ballard. How is that possible? The story I just told you, that's backed by video footage, right? I'm the trafficker.
Says. Yes. Correct.
And so she's all excited. We're talking to the prosecutor. The prosecutor's laughing. She's just like,
I bet
this is like the most like easy case because you guys filmed everything. Usually we have to rely on testimony of a Colombian cop or something. But we have testimony and video footage. I mean, it's an absolute joke. So in Colombia, they're down there trying to make her this martyr. I'm telling you what, that story's not going to age well at all. And this is all being masterminded by you know, these two attorneys from Utah who are trying to take down the foundation that I built. They want all that money. I was in Ecuador because we're building a task force.
What money? And you're not building a task force, okay? You're building your retirement plan.
Aerial recovery.
Let me back that up.
At all. And this is all being masterminded by you know, these two attorneys from Utah who are trying to take down the foundation that I built. They want all that money. I was in Ecuador because we're building a task force, aerial recovery, and we're going to build a task force. And I went to speak, and two private investigators from Utah showed up at my event.
Okay.
They flew all the way to Ecuador to try to catch me in some lie. But we caught him. The police caught him and kicked him out. I mean, that's how far they're going here. They're putting everything out there. But like I said, they've lost every battle in court so far. I think we have a few more dismissals, and not only are they getting dismissed, but two of them have to pay. My guess is,
what does that tell you, folks? What does that tell you?
We're dumb.
Yeah, the judge has ordered the women to pay me and to pay OUR because the lies were that bad, and that's going to continue to happen. My prediction is that these girls are going to turn on their attorneys and say, "You promised us $1 million," and instead they're losing everything. Because believe me, there's a lot of lawsuits that are about to. We're sitting back. Lawsuits are coming, and there's going to be a lot of them. And our lawsuits are actually going to be backed by facts, by video.
Oh.
You know, these people who keep saying, "I read the filings. I know he's guilty." What are you talking about? You read a novel that somebody wrote.
Right.
You can write anything in
I
there.
ain't gotta read nothing.
Anyway, Those are some of my
that's
thoughts right now.
that's
Good one,
called
Jonah.
I was looking that up the other night, but that's called paltering. Altering. When somebody uses the truth and then changes it.
Says the guy who spelled the damn he spelled the damn title incorrectly. So I mean, whatever, paltering.
Creates a misleading narrative or statement, and that's what these women are doing. They're paltering. They're taking the truth.
That's true.
And then they distort it and create it into something else, just
Jody
like
Goldstein.
Suarez. So you guys are coming back from
You're being used.
an operation now, right? And you've been working, right, Tim? I know you don't want to expose too much game, but can you expound on that a little bit?
About our operation?
Yeah. Did you want to talk about what you've been doing a little bit? You don't have to say where you've been,
it
give
really
up
is
cover,
irrelevant.
but
Wherever he
look,
goes.
we're, I'm not gonna let this stop me. I'm about to go bankrupt. I've been smeared. I've been lied about by the good guys, and I'm not stopping. We're doing more operations now than ever before. Truly, follow me.
Okay,
Follow me on Instagram, Tim Ballard 89. Look at all the work we've done. The good guys.
I pressed the wrong button. Y'all, he has contradicted himself more times than Carter has liver pills. Okay. Oh my God. This guy is a freaking liar. He is a fraud, in my opinion, liar, in my opinion, cheater, in my opinion. He is Satan. He is evil. He is a demon. He is an exploiter, in my opinion. All of that, allegedly.
And I'm not stopping. We're doing more operations now than ever before. Truly, follow me. Follow me on Instagram, Tim Ballard 89. Look at all the work we've done. In the last month alone, how many ops have we done? I think 16 or something.
15?
I haven't even been able to report on all of them. So all I can do is say, God, I don't know why this is happening, but if this is a test, it's not going to stop me.
You fail.
We're gonna continue rescuing kids, and I'm doing it at a rate faster than I ever have in my life. We're getting support.
That's a big claim.
And it's really sick. At the end of the day, these women
in
Rasmussen and Mortensen will be known as at best accomplices child trafficking.
Why?
But when all the truth comes out, and they're gonna have to live with that.
Yeah.
Amen.
And this is all for money.
Money.
Because I know the truth. I know the evidence. It kills me. So I'm like, please, can we put this out? Please, can we put this? And my attorney's like, no. Be strategic. Wait. You've been through it. I told you.
Are you mimicking me?
But we can't. They're strategic. Hey, I want you to talk to one of my other operators here.
Oh, here we go.
Let's do it.
Mohawk Mom, ready, set, go.
He was with me. I've never ever done an operation. My wife won't let me do an operation without Matt Cooper being with me. He's also been sued. The person who accused him of sexual assault, her case was dismissed.
He almost said battery, huh?
Matt Cooper being with me, he's also been sued. The person who accused him of sexual assault, her case was dismissed. So, and she said things that were public that were lies.
Gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Either way, I hate that this allegedly happened to these women, but I mean, they are freaking heroes in my opinion, because they have brought so much of this nasty ass shit to light, in my opinion.
I just can't wait till
they've helped.
The offense kicks in, which it hasn't. We're being strategic. But Matt, how do you feel about all this and these girls, these women? Take the phone. Yeah.
All right. That was weird. I'm gonna slow it down, and I'm gonna turn it down. Okay. Because I just want you to see how this is this is twice already, turn the camera on Matt Cooper, and just watch a harem.
Hey, Troy, yeah.
It's like Jelly Roll.
Earlier.
Did he show it already?
Yeah, these women.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. I backed it up. Let me just mute that.
You're being
They're annoying.
strategic, but
Oh my god. All right. We got a girl right here. And then it took me a couple times to watch this part right here. It looks like there's another girl. I thought this was just one girl with like a green, whatever, floral, I don't know what that is, but like a jacket or something. Anyways, but now they're sitting behind Matt Cooper. Okay. So there's one girl, she's videoing, boy, they always got the videos out. And then this one here is actually slumping over the seat, you know, like, I don't know. Are they waiting for the airbag? I mean, the oxygen mask to deploy in the vehicle that they're in. It's weird. Now watch. She's like hiding. He looks like he got busted on cheaters. There's one. Okay. It's just, I don't like it. It's like they're doing it in plain sight, literally. And we're just buying it all up, you know? I can't tell what that green thing is behind that seat. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna go look in just a second. Oh, come on. I don't want to fast forward it because then it'll pass it up probably with my luck. All right. Okay. I don't know what that is. It could be, it looks like somebody like hiding from Tim's camera. And then she's like over the back of that person doing God knows what, not rescuing children. And he looks like he just got busted on cheaters. And then she's just like, you know? Okay. All right. Let me put this regular speed and we will watch that together. All right. I'm gonna go to the.
And he said things that were public that were lies. I just can't wait till, you know, the offense kicks in, which it hasn't. We're being strategic. But Matt, how do you feel about all this and these girls and these women? Take the phone.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, Troy. Yeah, like I said earlier, you know, these women volunteered. They came to us and asked to be operators and all that. I mean, if it ever gets to court, you know, we'll come out. As Tim said, so we're continuing to move forward to do the good work that we're doing. We're not going to let lawfare or the Matrix or whoever's behind us, you know, attacking us, stop us from doing, you know, what we do. I mean, we don't care. You know, my philosophy is life. No matter what I do, life ends in death. So I'm not going to let, you know, the pressures of life stop me from living and doing, you know, what I'm here on this planet to do. So,
by the way, I have a question for Matt. So the woman who accused you of sexual assault, don't you have some text messages from her, like right after the assault happened? And what did she say?
I do. I mean, I don't know how much because as to me, Tim was dismissed for whatever reason. My attorneys got in late in the game and they weren't part of that hearing, but there will be soon a hearing. I'm very confident, but I have many text messages where she actually is very complimentary of me and my conduct and how much she liked working with me and all that stuff. I'm not worried about it.
She even texted somebody else, which she clearly doesn't remember. I won't say the name. And she said, Matt Cooper was such a gentleman. He kept all the rules. It was an excellent op.
Yeah.
Right? We have these texts, like contemporaneous to the quote unquote sex assault. And then, you know, years pass and they'll get together and say, hey, let's make up this story.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen some of that. And Matt, it's good to finally meet you. I mean, you've been this like Pulp Fiction in my mind. You know, I hear about you from other people that we know mutually. I'm always hearing Matt Cooper dropped somewhere in a story, and they're not legends; they're real, actual things that have happened. real children rescued, right, Matt?
Yeah, that's kind of been my MO. I've just kind of like, been in the background. I mean, I do a lot, but I've been less in the spotlight. I mean, Tim's so good at the spotlight. I just let him get it.
That's right.
That's horrible.
God bless you, brother. Keep
Amen.
going.
Thanks.
Keep
Thank you.
going. I know you guys are still doing the work. I'm not going to expose game and say where you've been and what you've been doing, but put it this way, brothers and sisters. Operation Underground, or sorry, let me scratch that, reverse that. Sound of Freedom
Spear Fund.
is a real deal. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah, real
these
movie.
are,
100%. I was there.
these are living, breathing operators that
Actors.
do God's work.
Oh.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
He's like,
Do I
need
have to
get
blur
away from
your
my
face?
ladies.
I hope not, because you're so handsome.
Ah.
No, you don't have to blur.
Okay, okay.
What did you
Just blur
say?
Pedro's.
Yeah, I will.
I've already been. So anyway, yeah,
Mm.
you can see Troy. The defense. Every single group,
Wow.
institution, person, plaintiff who has made these negative comments is hurting kids.
Yep.
And that's the part that blows my mind. When you lie about somebody, when you say they did something they didn't do, when it comes to saving kids, let
Ooh.
kids get rescued. You understand that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That blows my mind. That's what
Maybe we
when
need to
certain
flip the script or
institutions
something.
or people or media come out and say things that they know they don't know, but they're going to do it anyway, and kids get hurt. I just hope that I get to be a fly on the wall on
Why
the
would
other
you
side,
want them?
and the video gets to be played, and they get to see all the kids who were never rescued because they chose to try to protect their image, or they chose money, or they chose something else, and showed a complete lack of integrity. And they did it because that's all this is doing is hurting kids. Now I believe in God. I believe that God has a way to. I believe in
Be careful.
commensurate kind of blessing. So this could all turn net positive.
Second anointing.
And that's my hope. I've posted it. It's all over the Mexican news that we took down this trafficking ring. But I know how much bigger it was, and I know all those other kids are now gone. They'll be traded to other cartels. They'll be passed off, and that's all thanks to Sasha for revealing things and betraying not only me. The Mexicans want to put them under investigation. I've heard talks of it several times for obstructing justice because they welcome them into the country to help us rescue their kids, and then they do this. I mean, that's obstruction of justice.
Shut up.
Well, okay. So let me ask you this: not only will these things be dropped, and they are dropping like flies as we speak, folks, but this can also harm them legally in all these other countries. Once these countries find out that these claims are being dropped, the government might even turn against them and go, "Look, you guys caused a lot of problems."
Oh, absolutely. There is a case. The one girl who swore she wasn't going to sue, she only did it because she believed somebody else. We were tight like brother and sister. Breaks my heart. And she reveals my name. She outs me to the traffickers. This was an ongoing case. So
it should be over.
My undercover name, Brian.
Brian.
She revealed in the filing that it's me. And this is cartel. I mean, these guys could now they can easily find my family, my kids.
Right.
But she's safe because she's hiding behind an acronym, and I'm not going to stoop to her level and reveal who she is.
She might as well just put a hit on you. You might as well just put a hit on you.
100%. All of them. Sasha, this other one, Celeste.
You just said her name.
I'll name the ones who've come out.
What about the ones who paid off?
Actually went on ops. Only 3 of the plaintiffs.
What about the ones you have already paid off, asshole?
The others were cut.
And
we have the text that show how they were cut. Hey, so sorry. And they just weren't very good at this or that. Only 3 of them went on ops, and all 3 of them resulted in rescues or arrests In the case of Celeste, we were working a huge case with the U.S. federal government that had to do with trafficking of North Korean girls.
Right.
We have an entire podcast that we haven't aired yet, where Celeste is
You don't have
talking
any
about
truth.
being in
You
the
have
undercover
no integrity.
operation and trying to hold back her tears as she's listening to this girl from North Korea. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, you know, that podcast is out there. You know, we're going to put out the whole thing eventually, and you know, we have written statements from you saying I did nothing inappropriate ever to you. It's just it's crazy to me that that people were able to influence them. But the problem is, all they're getting is so far as dismissals and having to pay money. They're going to lose money at the end of this. Everybody's going to lose. At the end of this, everybody is going to
lose. That's for sure.
We've lost our ability to rescue all the kids. They aren't going to get the money. They're going to end up having to dish out money and legal fees and rulings like they already have. Again, Celeste owes me $20,000, and then this other one that just got dismissed is going to owe something as well. I mean,
that she's lucky. She's lucky. It's only $20,000. That's.
Shut up, Troy.
It should have been higher, but don't worry, I haven't begun my lawsuit yet.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
You know, this woman went in and stole all my emails, which had nothing incriminating in them anyway.
Oh,
so I don't know what the point was, and published them. And then she admits it. She admits to doing it in a deposition. And wow, that's going to be a tough lawsuit to win. Are you kidding me? Like, it's like she's trying to say, well, I had access to your email. Well, yeah, because you were helping me. She was an operator that was. I said, you know, help me track my emails. I mean, you know how hard it is to get a hold of me just doing these interviews.
Shut up.
And so her argument is akin to like saying, like, your housekeeper has a key to your house, in your house, and then she steals your.
That don't make no sense.
Phones, all you know, your money, your safe, and then says, well, I had the key to your house, therefore that gave me the right to take anything I wanted from your house. That's the only argument they can make.
Right.
Shut up.
So that's a criminal investigation that
I'm just trying to survive at this point.
Of theft. That's a lot.
Make it through it.
Easy to win. It's you know there's a scripture that says
no.
You know.
Shut up.
You know Tom Harrison. Visions of Glory.
Yes.
He's gotten beat up.
He's spoken a lot at the where we're going to speak in October at the.
He's one of the team now.
He wrote me. He's one of the most spiritual men I've ever met.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And unsolicited, he gave me a priesthood blessing.
Oh yeah.
And he put it in an email and sent it to me. I didn't ask for it, but I was grateful for it. Well, Celeste stole that email along with hundreds of others, published it, and brought so much heat on him. But it's the blessing that's crazy because it was before all this had happened.
I know.
And
bullshit.
He said the people who are digging this pit for you.
He said in the blessing, the people that are digging this pit for you are digging it for themselves, basically.
Will end up falling in the pit.
Okay.
And we're seeing that happen right now. Right? We're seeing that happen.
Right.
How thrilled is Celeste right now that the court has ordered her to pay $20,000? I don't think Rasmussen and Mortensen are going to give her that money for that. Maybe they will. We don't know if this is being funded by some other place. Most of this all began, the lawsuits, within a week of me announcing I might be running for Senate. I think I told you I got a phone call from a very recognizable name and said, hey, your alliance with Trump. People in Utah don't like Trump. There's people in Utah who do not want you to run for Senate. And they just put $2 million into an opposition research. And they gave me the name of the op research organization. It's like one of the best. So I had, Ken Krogh. I had Ken Krogh call up them and ask if I could hire them for a potential campaign. It was a ruse because if they were
Just to see what they were going to say,
sorry,
right?
there's a conflict.
Yeah.
We can't. Yeah, I had Ken call and try to hire them on a ruse, right? Because it's to kind of to see if we would collaborate the information, and this opposition group, which I won't say their name because they're also they're known, and they said, sorry, we can't work for Tim Ballard because there's a conflict, which means someone's already hired us to hit him. So I don't know more than that.
Right.
But there's definitely reason to believe that there's money out there. And that I don't know. He gave me the source of the money. He said a lot of it came from the anti-Trump Republican establishment. But this is a $150 billion a year business. And we are disrupting it big time.
I know.
So there's a lot of people out there that want us down. And I just find it so sad that everybody who has come out with negative smears, lies, lawfare, they are accomplices to child trafficking. Their actions are causing children to suffer, to be raped, to be tortured. And that's the truth. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's the truth. That's the truth. And I'm talking about everyone who has who has smeared me, who have said things about me that aren't true. And even if they say, well, it could be true, but we're going to just say it anyway. Like, it's on them too. Like, this is bad. This is really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of my favorite scriptures in the movie Sound of Freedom, it's Jim Caviezel says the line, but it wasn't written in the original script. He just ad-libbed it. It was right before we took down Olszewski, who was a real guy, real scene in the cafe. When he gives me the book, I have that book. It's a very, very accurate scene. But I didn't in real life say this, but right before he got arrested, Jim leans over to him and says to him, better that a millstone be hung about your neck and you be tossed to the sea. And the guy playing the pedophile didn't know what to.
He goes, what? What did you say?
He goes, what are you talking about? That was his natural response because it wasn't part of the script.
Right.
It's very Mormon.
But we know where Jesus stands on children being abused. And so I say to everybody who has smeared me,
it ain't a smear, boo, if it's
who
true.
has said things, even if they knew they might be
dictator.
You know,
he's a fucking dictator.
Everybody who has smeared me, all right, they have to go one day have a talk with that Jesus who has made it clear where he stands. And every single person who has smeared me and used lawfare or PR to protect themselves, they're going to have to answer to that.
That's right.
And I love that line because that's the line that people say to me and my team all the time. I can't believe what you guys do. Like this last operation was so risky. We were in cartel land. Our entire story of who we are had already been publicized by Sasha and Mortensen and
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what?
Rasmussen. And we went right back into cartel land. Can't believe what you guys do. Like this last operation was so risky. We were in cartel land. Our entire story of who we are had already been publicized by Sasha and Mortensen and
Oh my gosh.
Rasmussen. And we went right back into cartel land. And that's crazy. I had experts to say, Tim, you got to walk away. I mean, the cases you've been made, but we went for it anyway. And you know why? Because I believe that line. I believe when Jesus says, I mean, Jesus is speaking. These are like mafia cement shoes, kind of very violent words to say that it's better than a millstone be hung on your neck and you toss to the bottom of the sea. This is the Prince of Peace talking, and he's speaking violence. Okay, but it's righteous. There is such a thing, obviously,
Don't you ever
righteous
forget it,
violence.
Righteous indignation.
God himself is saying it.
Bull.
And so I know where he stands on those children.
You don't know
My
Jesus.
team knows where he stands, and that's why that in spite of all this opposition, we're willing to go in anyway. And
Amen.
you know, and we're not going to stop. If I have to give my life, we're not going to stop. I asked my wife. I said, "Hey, we can lose our house very easily. Like we're on the verge of bankruptcy right now. You know, we have not had the donations that we thought we would have. I'm grateful for those who donated, but my legal bills.
So he was. He is like in I don't know how many. I'm trying. Oh my God, y'all. Whoo! I know we all are. Boy, oh my gosh. He is in the Spear Fund, OUR, Liberty 89, Slave Stealers LLC, for profit. I mean, this is all going to funnel into allegedly this, all this sizzle, all these things. He was asking like, I forget how much it was like. I forget the minimum, but the maximum for his speaking engagements was like $150,000. He was going to write some more books. I mean, it's the plan. It's the one that I have. Someone sent me the video of pre-whiteboard meeting that Lynn Packer has shared with all of us in 2019. This is sooner than that. This is way before that. It might even be 2013, 2014. I have to check between the 2 years. But I mean, it's way before. This is like early in OUR's inception, basically. I think it was kind of being built, if you know what I mean. It's like Build-A-Bear, but it was like Build-A-Fraud. I don't know. And then you assemble the team, obviously. And then you act like you don't know each other, okay? And then you talk to each other through these priesthood blessings, in my opinion. Mafia. If I were to build my own mafia, MLM hierarchy, just saying. Yeah, there's so much more to learn about this and to be shocked about, and not really shocked. We know there's a lot of us that do know. And it's the depravity, it's the sleazy, it's so nasty. It is so evil, it's so dark, it's so they're diabolical. There's not a word that pegs this, because just like with Lori and Chad, for me, diabolical is about as close as I could get to it, to explaining how I feel about what they've done. This is Tim's there, in my opinion, on my shit list, big time. And I can't think of a word bad enough to describe what I think about him, in my opinion. And I'm allowed to have my opinion, asshole.
It's already over $1 million, and we only raised 50,000. I truly thought more people would.
I know,
and I hope more people will.
Oh, but the whole point of stopping that was he can't pay for it. Might lose his house. Why? Why are you paying your bills off of donations? Right? Because it's all
bankruptcy right now. We have not had the donation. In spite of all this opposition, we're willing to go in anyway. And we're not going to stop. If I have to give my life, we're not going to stop. I asked my wife. I said, "Hey, we can lose our house very easily. Like we're on the verge of bankruptcy right now. We have not had the donations that we thought we would have."
I'm sorry,
stop. I asked my wife. I said, "Hey, we can lose our house very easily. Like we're on the verge of bankruptcy right now. We have not had the donations that we thought we would have. I'm grateful for those who donated, but my legal bills, it's already over $1 million."
Okay, he's already grateful for. Okay, all right, we're grateful for all that you gave us, out of the goodness of your heart, or whatever. If you're trying to get a damn tax write-off, people aren't as fake as this one right here. Oh my God.
And we only raised 50,000. I truly thought more people would.
I know.
And I hope more people will see, as these cases are being dismissed, that we need help.
No, you don't.
We still have it. It's I'm putting it right here, so it should be right here as we're talking. The QR code and the link. will be in the descriptions field.
And I'll
Thanks.
say this, like, you know, again, I'll repeat this. I've asked my bishop so many times. Such a great guy.
Don't your bishop no more.
I said, should I just go and just lie?
Yeah, stupid.
Should I go in and falsely confess? He said, don't you ever do that. Doesn't matter what happens, what they say, what they do. And so I've decided I'll go to my grave forever confess. And I hope that Elder Ballard's family is listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you, some of you like family. I've been wanting to call and tell you, but I'm just trying to keep you out of it. I never used your father's name that way. Ever. Ever. I never would. I never did. And I will never confess to something I didn't do. I don't care who accuses me of it.
And that right there is an innocent man's face.
Oh, shit. Okay, so who in here? Oh, Lord. Who in here, and right now, be honest, who in here would ask him to confess to something that he never did? Do you see the wordplay? I mean, good Lord. It's the inverted talk, too.
I'm just trying to keep you out of it. I never used your father's name that way. Ever. Ever. I never would. I never did. And I will never confess to something I didn't do. I don't care who accuses me of it.
And that right there is an innocent man's face. That is an innocent man. If you've ever watched depositions or interrogations, when people talk like that, Tim, they are innocent.
What the fuck you watching?
When somebody,
I will never confess to something I did not do.
Right.
I don't care about PR. I don't care, you know, about whatever reason someone justified for doing this to somebody. I will never, ever, ever confess.
Ever.
And I hope the Ballard family out there is listening to me and knows this. I never used your father's name. I loved him like my own father. He loved me like his own son, and you know that.
Ooh.
And again, the only solace I have is I know he's up in heaven, and he knows darn well that I never took advantage of his name. It was sacred to me, and I never ever did anything remotely like this. And it's and I would say the most unchristlike thing was that's ever been done to me was a false statement that came out saying that I betrayed my friendship with Elder Ballard.
That's it?
And again, I have peace in my soul because I know he knows.
That's it? I mean, that's what the hell he's like, oh my God. It's just like Lori and Melanie Gibb when Melanie calls her a freaking core whore. You can call Lori a murderer, an adulterer, a liar, a cheater, all the things. But don't, she had to, Lori was like, I need to know why you think about this or whatever the hell. I mean, was
a false statement that came out saying that I betrayed my friendship with Elder Ballard. And again, I have peace in my soul because I know he knows that I didn't, and I know I didn't. And kids are hurt. Kids are getting hurt because of that statement, and it's being passed around. And a lot of people are believing it because it's like, well, they said it. Like, well, they said it because they either believed these women or they didn't want the headline to say Elder Ballard's pimping out girls.
Oh.
But they didn't come to me. They didn't come to me and say, hey, Tim, these women saying that you used Elder Ballard's name, and you never. So let me ask you this. If you're truly looking for truth, I've been an investigator for 20 years. Believe me, if you really want truth, you're going to at least go to the other side and give them a chance. But the truth didn't matter, Troy. The truth didn't matter. What mattered was PR. What mattered was avoid a headline that might say something negative about Elder Ballard. So let's destroy a family.
I mean, isn't that why the investigation stopped? You know, I think that, I'm sure the church did what they could do to keep Elder Ballard out of, the PR thing you're trying to do here.
Let's hurt a family. I can't tell you how badly it hurts. Of all the hurt, it's that statement.
I'm going to make a statement right here too, or just an observation, another one. But you know how Tim and his wife, they adopted those 2 children from Haiti, right? Why is it, and this is just me, Why is it that Tim always poses with them? Is it because they are children of color? And it's like, pity me, feel sorry for me. I'm such a good guy. Oh my God. Right? Because that's exactly what it looks like to me.
Statement is the thing that hurts the worst.
Dirty
Yeah.
I
laundry.
just am grateful I have peace in my soul knowing that I did not do that. I just cannot believe, I can't believe decided whoever it was to go ahead and put out something that they knew that they didn't know. They
What?
might have suspected. Maybe the girls are telling the truth, but they knew they didn't know because you can't know something that's not true. So they knew they didn't
What?
know, but they went for it anyway.
Uh-uh.
And
That sounds like Melanie Gibb too, because she's like, you can't believe in something that's not all the way true. And I'm thinking, what, you believe in Mormonism? I mean, I'm just thinking, I'm saying this to myself. I'm just like, she's talking to Ron Ball and Hermosillo, I believe. And she's like saying, no, I didn't believe the zombie stuff. And then Ron was like, well, I mean, everybody kind of, and I mean, he's being honest and real, everybody doesn't believe everything 100%, and she's like, oh no, I believe in my church, 100%, it's just weird. It's the same kind of talk.
as a consequence, has put a family who has been faithful to the church from day one and still faithful. I will never betray the church.
Mm.
Never denying my testimony of the Book of Mormon. I will never deny my testimony of Joseph Smith. I will not do those things. I will not. I've had all these offers from these like evangelical churches. Like, dude, you tell this.
What is this? Okay, is this like a church recruitment tactic, or what the hell did he just say? Like, they recruit? They're like, it's like they have a job fair, except it's a church fair, and they're like, hey, come over here to the evangelist, or come over here to Southern Baptist, or come be a Catholic. Tim, you want to come be a Catholic? It's like not military, which you do not go to. I mean, oh my God, I'm so sorry about this interview.
I will never betray the church.
We know.
Never denying my testimony of the Book of Mormon. I will never deny my testimony of Joseph Smith. I will not do those things.
Okay.
I will not. I've had all these offers from these like evangelical churches. Like, dude, you tell this story. You can start your own church. You can have a huge. I'll never do that.
And here is the U.S. Antichrist, in my opinion. This is the prophecies coming true from the priesthood blessings that were given by Ken Krogh and Tom Harrison themselves. You're going to be the future prophet of the Mormon Church, and you are going to be the president of the United States. You're healed. You're blessed. Whatever. Nasty. Ugh. Okay. So I was like, man, imagine, just think about the influence and the Ballard bamboozle is what I call it. That movie and his fake, all this fraud, all the lies, okay, have caused and created, and the following this guy has had, whatever. Can you imagine Tim being a president of the United States and starting his own damn church? Can you imagine the kind of, oh my God, the dumb fuckery? Dumb fuckery is the word of the day.
This is the Church of Jesus Christ.
That's right.
I'm not gonna do that. I know that he knows. I know work. I know the couples rules might sound weird to some people. It doesn't fit anywhere into the white handbook.
Just criminal trials, okay? Yeah, some pretty heinous criminal trials there.
It says how to,
It don't make sense.
how to, to keep the kingdom orderly. There's no section on how to rescue children from sex traffickers.
It's called the United Order, and it's called the Law of Consecration. Move.
Wait, I want to explain something.
Pray and study and use my team. We've had to figure that out on our own. I get it. People will just dismiss it, but
No.
But I'm grateful for the opportunity to publicly say I will never, ever I don't care who. I don't care. There's not one person on this planet
Oh my
that
god.
if they came to me, unless it was God himself and an angel or something,
And an
that said,
angel.
sorry, we need you to lie to protect, Elder Ballard's name from defamation. Unless God himself comes and
He rolled his eyes. He straight up did. Oh, Judge Judy there. Like his brother Chad. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Judge.
says, sorry, we need you to lie to protect, Elder Ballard's name from defamation. Unless God himself comes and tells me, I will never, ever confess to something I didn't do. And I did not do that thing.
But by the
All
way,
right, bro.
folks, if you don't know what the White Handbook is, that was on our mission. We had the White Handbook. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I think there's lots of white handbooks out there.
Okay.
That different people, leadership in the church have.
Right.
Troy's a convert, and so Tim's schooling him right now.
Right.
But I've never seen the section on how to infiltrate to rescue God's children.
Oh, I'm out.
who have
And boom, you saw it in real time, just like that. See, it says Tim Ballard, the unheralded. Well, that says the right. No. Okay, earlier it said what? It did. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, it just kept recording, and then, but that was it. It clipped it at 103. Oh my God, 103:22 of 110:48. And so let me back this up. What was I going to? I already forgot. Anyways, he's a liar, in my opinion. This was nothing but a lie after blank. Oh yeah, sounds like the handbook for the recently deceased. Swearing makes me happy. Oh God, yeah. And I mean, I really should just come right out and just really say it, but I don't know. I don't know why I fight with myself. I'm like, oh my God, it makes me feel better too. Yeah. Book of life. Yep. And he murdered my family off of it, Oh, the White Handbook. Yeah, I know. If y'all haven't listened or watched Megan Connor, her YouTube channel, that's Lori's niece. No, I'm her niece. I was her niece. Sorry. Megan is Lori's cousin, and Megan Connor is the channel name. Go there. She put a video out last night, and it's rather interesting. Go there. She talks about this little white book that was just, I didn't even know that was there. Really. Wow. Anyone actually investigating and infiltrating traffickers would not be on talk shows blabbing about it, or not even talk shows. This guy, nothing again. He's just a regular Mormon channel. Okay. He's not like John Dehlin or, Mormon discussions, Mormonism live. He's not like Nemo, or Mormonish or Jordan and McKay. He's not like those. Okay. He's just a little peon. Okay. I said it. I said peon. Peon. Yes. Yes. I don't know. I don't know if that's what I'm talking to Kay Layla. I hope I'm saying that right. We know where Jesus exactly, Janelle. Preach. Actually, I found I look so crappy. I don't even want to put myself on full screen. But okay, so I was the other day when we were live, okay? And then let me take this down real quick. We were live, and then whenever I went back into my room, right? And so I was closing out some tabs on my computer in there, and I had grabbed a copy, a image of Visions of Glory, so I could not have to dig through so many to make my thumbnail. And so I was going to close out those tabs, and I noticed it was in Google Books, where I snagged the image from. And it showed a tab where it said, save to your Google Library or something. And I was like, well, I thought I did, I mean, a long time ago. And so I clicked it and it brought me to my Google Library and I saw emotion code. And I was like, and I don't know, just I was prompted, it was in my library. And so I clicked on it and I'll be damned. Lo and behold, it's Tony Robbins wrote a long, wordy foreword in Dr. Bradley Nelson's book, The Emotion Code, Body Code, and the Belief Code, which is something I haven't even dug into yet. I have just learned about it. I was like, Belief Code, oh shit. Okay, this is the energy healing. This is muscle testing. This is that guy. Julie Rowe went there and got her certificate. You got Tony Robbins now stating writing a foreword and in Dr. Bradley's book. He's in the middle of all this too. I just haven't had a chance to pay too much attention to that aspect of it, but I've been diving feet first in it again, and I was like, oh my God, I need Janelle. Or if anybody can, has anything to say about that, about energy healing and either pro or cons, I'm not taking a side. I'm just, I sit here and analyze these people that were in the same circle as Lori, Chad, and Melanie Gibb. We know that she lied about, oh, I'm not really into that energy stuff, and she was really doing that. She is really doing that. They're all liars in my opinion. But I don't know. I just kind of want to, because I mean, and again, energy healing, I look at this also and I'm like, what? When the church came out with a statement about, a real firm stance, basically a couple of years ago, under 10 years ago, about energy healing, firm. Well, it might have been 5 years ago. It was around the time of Lori and Chad. But they took a stance, I guess you could say, where they're like, if you believe in false prophets, if you blah, 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 whatever the thing is, the saying from the church, I'm like, well, so, but okay, you're a prophet and you charge 10% tithing. What is the difference is what I'm saying. It's like high pot, I'm kettle. It blows my mind, which one? They're all, yeah. Any, if they are, and this is me, I think there's different degrees or, 4.2 dark. I'm just saying, I'm joking, but there's a sliding scale, I guess, to none of them are good. I'm just going to be honest with you. Nope. I can't. If birds of a feather flock together, and I mean, all you do is just, I mean, let's just say, like Tony Robbins, I've watched and learned a few things about him, mainly through Lynn Packer and stuff like that, but I really don't know the affiliations, but just that mere coincidence that I clicked on that, the other day, and he wrote the damn foreword, and I was like, wow, well, here we are, full circle, boom, right here. And so I've just been kind of researching more into the connections aspect of Tim Ballard. I mean, Tony Robbins has a freaking island, y'all. I'm not going to share it here. We're going to have to do another live stream. Keep them separated. This one's almost 3 hours long as it is. But, oh, and I'm posting this, the entire, Tim Ballard video that was taken down that we just went over. And it'll be in my Patreon. That's where it's going to be. So, yeah. And I'll put it in my members only too. So, and you won't have me talking through it. Okay. And do what you will. Do with what you will or want with it. It's not mine. It's theirs and I don't want it. It's just nasty. It's just nasty, y'all. It's just nasty. Yes. And like I was reading earlier before I came on, about walking over coals and stuff, you know, and I mean, just really demeaning to people who pay him to be mean to them, to exploit. It's all exploitation. That's the one word that I came to realize a while ago, a while back, that exploit covers it all. I mean, because they even just being related to the family members who were victims, and all this mess, there's still exploitation, 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 I mean, it never stops. It never fucking stops. And yeah. And not only that, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Y'all remember in Lynn Packer's reporting about the OUR hookers? Wait, I have the damn thing right here. Ashlyn saw it one day and she was like, why you have R hookers? And I was like, oh no, that's just OURs, hookers from heaven, American Crime Journal. And basically it appeared to me that they held this, no, I'm sorry. They allegedly went and saved some women, I think from Venezuela, if I'm remembering correctly, somewhere like that. I think it was 2 countries actually. And Tim Ballard literally used Tony Robbins' jet, because he got it like that. He's a damn Nephilim, if you ask me. But and he literally trafficked all those women to Utah, University of Utah, okay, where they held this mock graduation ceremony for these ladies, okay, and this is no shame on them. This is all the exploiters, okay. And I mean, even to the point where U like iced out Lynn Packer, when he was requesting records about holding a fake ceremony or any kind of ceremony, a graduation ceremony with certificates and everything for these women that were trafficked literally by Tim Ballard and using Tony Robbins' jet. And then they went to the goddamn White House too. And I'm like, what? I don't think that's why my brain hurts. That's why I'm having these, like, I'm like, but I can't talk because it's so unfathomable. It's just like my brain can't wrap my head. It can't grasp the deceit and all the thing. I'm just like, wow, it is so bad and so bold and in your face. And again, I'm like mad. I don't know if that was Mad Donut, but earlier saying that none of these people ever are held accountable. Look at the Hamblins, look at Gordon Bowen. I'm surprised Jody Hildebrandt and Ruby Frankie, but just saying. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So what else? Yeah. I know we have to read Visions of Glory too. I already have the thumbnail made. I just need to schedule it. So, all right. Ah! Wow, this is nuts. Let's see. Karen Canada, thanks for commenting. Only once did I make that donation for an energy healing. I thought I'd still be getting some sort of massage. Nope. Well, dang. $80. Throw my ADD into the mix and my mind was just racing. What the hell? I'm so sorry that happened to you. But, I'm the same way. I learn from my mistakes, but it's not going to be a repetition. It's not going to do the insanity thing where I'm going to continue to give to you or to people like that, where you after a while, you're just like, I think my kindness is being mistaken as a weakness, and that's shame on them is what I'm saying, because go ahead and do that. Go ahead and underestimate me, that'll be fun. Right. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy. This world is going bonkers. I say going, but it's been a pretty really sharp and slippery slope lately for sure. But You know, all you can do is share your story, just like you shared that comment right there, you know, and just share and let other people see that, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, me too," you know? Oh, no. I've heard there's a new Mormon Housewives of Utah. Oh god, I actually watched that because it was Mormon, right? There are a bunch of women who were in a swingers group. Is that the one that was in Salt Lake City, right? Like Heather Gay, I don't Jen, somebody, a Mormon who has a damn liquor. I'm like, "What? How do you sell liquor to" anyways, again, good. You go, girl. You grow, girl. Right? You grow. That's good. It is, you know? It is very confusing. It's very confusing because it's like, I'm sure I'm looking at it from, like, Chad, Lori, Julie Rowe, like, from their level when they're, like, looking at their leaders. This is just me. This is how I think they're looking and sizing their leaders up. You know, like, well, wait, you do it. And so, but I'm not doing anything differently than you're doing. It's the leading by example thing. And so that's why they justify it. It gets justified. And then it's the persecution thing that comes into play. And it's just the, and I'm the victim. I'm the victim. It's nuts. I mean, it's a freaking mind trip is what it is. You do? Ooh, I really want to know. I really want, what animal do you see too? I'm Let me know. Cuz I believe it. Oh yeah. Oh, and remember Carl Crusher? Y'all remember how whenever the stuff was coming up about Frankie and Hildebrandt, and he was married to Carl Crusher was married to his wife, and they used to basically they went to like a swingers party basically, but he didn't say that he expected it to be a swingers party, but there was peanut butter involved, and allegedly, and like Bonnie was there allegedly, and maybe some of her other Ruby's other sisters. Anyway, I'm very like, huh, you know, in a southern Utah, and they're probably like, no, we don't do that, and yet they're doing it. You know, this that whole vibe I get, and I'm just like, yeah, there's something bad there. And also that last name too. Birds of a feather stick together, in my opinion, and I do believe that they meaning the Frankies, in my opinion, allegedly, I do believe that they were in the system and or maybe still are. I don't know. I know Ruby's in jail for a hot minute, but that's how this works with the Hamblin case allegedly, and SRA is multi-generational, and they actually Hamlin is accused of, and that I've read reports from the alleged victims of Hamlin, 3 daughters, that alleged that they were their dad, who David Hamblin, he was a Mormon therapist, okay? Um, and, um, that's oh my god, hold on, I'm losing my thought. But, okay, so he's a Mormon therapist, and he was doing all these type things where, let's say there's I'm gonna name one because his interview is out there, but his name is Brett Bluth, and he alleges that when he would go to counseling with the therapist, David Hamblin. He alleges that Hamblin was like trying to convince him that he was a victim of satanic ritual abuse. Okay. And Brett was like, no, I'm not. No, I didn't. I mean, he was underage at this point. And, and so he denied, like Brett denied. He was like, no, that never happened to me. But all the while, Hamblin is allegedly telling Brett that it is, trying to convince him that he was abused SRA. Okay. And he also, it's alleged that Hamblin tells Bluth that the only way to cure him of his gayness, I guess you could say, I'm sorry for being so flippant, but to cure him from being a homosexual, that he has to have a righteous seed. If you know what I mean by that, I'm not going to go there, but, and you know who has the righteous seed? David Hamblin has the righteous seed. Okay. So there's that. And it's like, what the hell what's going on? And it's bad. But these parents in this family, in this cult unit, in this group of it's actually the LDS Church of Satan. Okay, it's a cult within a cult, I guess you could say, and it's mainly from southern Utah. It's been around since it goes right there with the Satanic Panic. Okay, people could say and do say, have said, and you know that this it's just Satanic Panic. It's just a conspiracy theory. It's not really horrendous, freaking terrifying child abuse, severe, I mean, to the nth degree. But no, it's people like Tim Ballard. It's people that are accused of this, people who go and start the false memory. I hate the damn name of this damn place. The False Memory Syndrome Foundation. It's a dumb name, anyways. But people who started that False Memory Syndrome Foundation, they were accused of abusing their daughter. So they're like, okay, well, we're just going to go spin that narrative and go muck up all these court cases and not allow these victims to ever have justice, get justice, put these assholes behind bars where they belong. And so they spin narratives. I mean, these people have gone and testified in Weinstein's trial. OJ, was it OJ? No, I don't know. Bill Cosby. I want to say, was it Scientology? I don't know all the names, but it's some big, high people that you would know their names. And Ghislaine Maxwell, another one. This False Memory Syndrome Foundation would go and testify as an expert witness and say that, that's just repressed memories. You can't depend on those. You can't. This is bad. They will go everywhere. There's nowhere that they won't go to discredit and spin and character assassinate their own victims and cause them to not be believed. Okay. Can you imagine everything aside, and someone abuses you in the worst ways, anyway, is horrendous, and it's just not good. I don't have the right words. It's a crime. And it really does. It affects every aspect of your life. But imagine this happening to you, and you finally get the courage to try and get help, okay? And then nobody believes you. And then not only do they not believe you, they ostracize you, they shun you, they have other people go and that they call that the flying monkeys, where they go and do the narcissist bidding and go and drop all the, more abuse, more bullying, and just horrible. And then the character assassination, the smear campaigns, the having a whole damn False Memory Syndrome Foundation cranked up, and then people actually who are in that camp, they're all like, yeah. Oh my God, can you imagine how that's that exploitation cycle? It just goes and goes and goes, and they're getting off on it. And then you've got people who are actually experiencing this, trying to get heard and be heard and acknowledged, I'm sure, and to get help and to try and put these people away. And they, a lot of them end their lives. Okay. That's just the reality of shit. There's no way to sugarcoat that. It's just, we're really sick and unwell society. And I mean, I'm not just focusing on the negative. I mean, I do pay attention to a lot of this crap. And I mean, it is frustrating. And it's really, it breaks my heart more than anything. You know, it breaks my heart. It's one banana, Michael. What could it cost? $10? I don't get it. What? Elizabeth Loftus, CIA. You get a star. Right? Ravina. All the energy healing I've done has cost me a pack of cigarettes. Never had to pay any actual money ever. It would have been rude to offer. You made me laugh though. I really love your picture. Not in the sense that I'm like, I'm glad you're representing that. And let me know what it's about, and I will, you know, I will help. I'll educate myself first. You know, I have looked into it a little bit, but there's too many things going. You know, I mean, there has been. I know that like victims of homicide, that month is next month. You know, um, victims of violent crime, homicide and violent crime. So that's the red and black ribbons. And anyways, it's all unnecessary. But I'm glad that you're an advocate and you stand up. I'm very, 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 I look up to you. We love you too. If you're, I don't know if you're calling me, you know what I mean? You could be talking about your real sisters. I don't know. But we love you. I love you. I love y'all. All right. I'm getting all in my feels again. But let me know. And I'd love to learn about it. And I'd love to share it. Or if you ever want to come share, if anybody wants to ever share anything, you are more than welcome to come on. Okay. Let me know. Would love to have you. So, oh, I know. Yes. I love all you guys. I got all my sisters in me. Oh my God. But we're done with Tim. Okay. We're done. We're done. No, my God. Okay. It's just so much too. It's too much to even process, y'all. How many were triggered? Oh, I don't know why I did that. How many were triggered? Straight up. I'm gonna allegedly. I mean, do y'all want to hear more about Tony Robbins and what you call it? Dr. Bradley Nelson, the energy. I didn't even ask. I just said I was gonna do it. But I mean, do y'all want to hear about that aspect of this conundrum? Because I mean, it does go into it. If Zulema Pastenes and Julie Rowe both were certified emotion code practitioners, and then you have Tony Robbins, who's Bud's bosom buddies or whatever the hell, with jets and shit and allegedly flying and trafficking people and through the White House and stuff. I mean, what? This I'm telling you, this goes to John Huntsman and Epstein's little black book, and via Senator Mike Lee, you know, all the things, all Frank Vandersloot, it goes up. I don't even, I'm just like, where do you top out at? Like Pope? And I mean, who's the top dog in this whole world? Tell me it's Oprah. Please tell me it's Oprah. I'm joking. I think Oprah was into emotion code stuff for a while in the early. Interesting. Oh, we love having you, Donnell. I love when you guys show up, and y'all were cracking me up too, by the way. I'll go back and read the comments because it is freaking hilarious. Yeah, Huggy Bear. Also with the what's that other? I can't remember all these things, but Children of God, Oprah, Children. I remember that. Like somebody named John. It was weird. They're all connected, you know. I've seen victims of SRA attend Tony Rock. Oh my God. That's terrible. I'm so. Oh, that makes my. I feel so sorry for those people, that they have to continuously deal with being re-victimized, not believed. I think that's the worst thing I could possibly imagine is if somebody told me that the abuse that I'm claiming happened didn't happen. I'm just saying, it reminds me of Colby and how a lot of people, are just all on the camp like, oh no, it can't be true. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not here to be yes or no, I'm not here to say, Colby, you did not experience that. I'd be damned if y'all can tell me that all day long, but if I experienced it, oh, never. Joking. Just too many things right there. But I was picking on Tim for saying I will never admit to something that, what I mean. Wrong time to make a joke. But I mean, I have been sexually abused, and I can't imagine not being believed. And the gall of the people who do that is questionable at minimum. It's just like, well, who are you to just be like all in on one side or the other? Just be neutral and just have compassion, but then kind of be like, well, that person's not here anymore to defend themselves, so it's not for me or you to decide. It is weird. And I feel bad that that's happened to Colby and anybody else who's ever had to go through that. Not being believed. I can't imagine having a whole campaign though against you saying that it did not happen. Like, whoa. Anyways, y'all do. The more I learn, the less I trust professionals. I know. Oh, wow. A horse accident? Wow. And I was in a bad motorcycle accident in 2014, and I sit here and wonder why I have, what do you call it? I always forget what to call it. Not restless leg syndrome, but the sciatic nerve. My left, oh my God, my whole left side. And I'm like, well, you kind of were flung 150 feet. No, I just taken my helmet off too, because we were about to turn down our road. And I always did. I know all the wrecks and all the things happen within a mile of your house. Okay. So just know I learned that the hard way. There's that thing. Okay. But I had just taken my helmet off. And I mean, I was tiny too. I was like a size 2 straight up. And I mean, and it was August. It was July 28th, 2014. And it was hot August night, hot July night. And I remember even the asphalt, even though it was nighttime, it's like I don't know. But anyway, so I lost all the skin right here because I did I guess I must have just bounced. I did a Chad Daybell and I just bounced twice ish, but I mean, this was all gone. This was gone. I had a bump. I just had a huge bump right here in my hair and my knee. I had some Miss Me jeans on, right? They're high dollar. And it really just put the cutest little slit in the knee, like I would have paid for it, is what I'm saying. And I wouldn't even let the ambulance. I was like, no, don't cut them off, Anyways, all this was gone. But that's it. And I mean, I shouldn't have survived that at all. No way. I never found my helmet. I don't know where it's at still. It blows my mind all the times I should have died, all the times I put myself in dangerous situations and crazy, it's nuts. I'm so glad that I can acknowledge that. I can see that. I can, say that those were crazy times for sure. But all right, let's see. Here, I'll end with this again. I did this with the little the little poem in the beginning. I found it on Wikipedia about the second coming, and I thought it was a good poem, but you can't hardly hear it. So I'm gonna skip to the part. This one of the schizo clips I made. Okay. Y'all ready? All right. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Love always wins. And you are proof of this. Thank y'all for being here. Please, if you will, give the video a like, share. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It really helps to maybe put us back in the algorithm wave that we lost ever since, Chad Daybell's trial was adjudicated. We still have the one with Lori coming up. And we'll do a new live stream for Tony Robbins, or about Tony Robbins, and the emotion code connection between him and Bradley Nelson. And also Visions of Glory. We're going to read the damn book. Why? Because we're gluttons for punishment. That's why. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Be born.
Stop.